Hello everyone, sorry, I'm just trying to get to what Ezzy just said and share the song of our intro. Hold up, we can't multitask. Welcome in everyone, let me just copy and paste this. Okay, Ezzy, if you ever want to hear the full version of the song, well actually maybe I can play it in the background, because technically I've got a license for it. So, okay, yeah, hopefully this can be heard. Oh no, it's not tied to my... I don't think it's... Yeah, once again, we're still on our temporary setup, and if I do it like this, I don't know, we'll just have it play for now. If it's too loud, I will adjust it. Yeah, it is actually too loud. So, usually in the intro, it stops around... Where is it? Okay, in the intro, it stops here, right? But actually, the song keeps going for another like 3 minutes, and it keeps building from that point where the whole song dips. Maybe we should actually make it a long song. But yeah, so I have a music subscription to this website thing called Epidemic Sound, and that's where I got this from. I use it for work, and it just covers everything. They have quite good option for music, and this felt like something that fit this channel. So I've just used it since 2021 when I changed like my branding to this triangular concept thing. And I've just not found, like, I don't see any reason to change it, because it just feels right. But you can hear, like, the song keeps going, it will just keep building. Speaking of building, welcome back to City Skylines 2. I know it's 2 streams in a row. I know we said that Roller Coaster Tycoon was happening. 2 things that are stopping me right now. One is that I checked my computer. This is again the temporary computer. We do not have space. So it's either delete City Skylines 2 or place like Roller Coaster Tycoon. So I was like, let's just focus on City Skylines 2 until my computer's back. Although time check, it has been a month since they said it will be like, since I sent it for repairs, and they quoted 4 weeks. So I have checked with them. Hopefully we'll get it back at some point. Because I can't just keep using this temporary setup. I'm done with it. But it has lasted us very well, so I'm grateful for that. The second reason why we're doing City Skylines 2 is good old Granny Does Games decides to stream City Skylines 2 every Saturday, at least for the last few weeks, which is the morning before this stream. So every time I wake up on a Saturday, I will see her playing and be like, ooh, City is fun, let me play that too. And that's where we are today. Hello Misty, hello Karina, welcome into both of you. Karina will be here for a short while. No worries Karina, thank you for dropping in. Your family's at the store. Ooh, are they buying like groceries or is it just a general shop? But yeah, so let's blame Granny Does Games for this wonderful stream that we're about to encounter. And the reason why we're on the menu today is some changes since the last episode, right? So, number 1. There's been a new update that has added quays and piers, so we're gonna explore that hopefully. Number 2, I have decided, because we're at the point in our city now where I feel like it helps, I've decided to add on the creator packs that are available on Paradox Mods. Now to be clear, this is still a vanilla save because these creator packs come from like the developers themselves. So it's just that they decided to host it on their mods profile because apparently it was easier. So if you click into Paradox Mods, if you play this game, and you see these, like region packs, these are officially supported DLC that is available. And like when you download them, they will be just add-on content, it's free, and it's, again, officially supported. So I've added these to our save to bring in lots of variety because each region pack brings in different building types, different zoning. Like, look at this for French. Like, wow. So yeah, each of them have different things, and I feel like we're at the stage with this city where it's worth using these things, and they bring in signature buildings as well. Specifically, the one I want to use is from the China region pack where they have a shopping mall. I don't think it's shown in the screenshots. It's one of these things, I think, or it's both. I'm not sure, but yeah, the gist of it is we've got more options now to use the things. And if you want to enable it for yourself, that's where you can do it. Like, it's just that it's under mod, so you might not think it's official, but it is. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Because of that, when we load our game now and look at all of the save versions we have, so Punderland, right? I do want to enable the unlock all things so that we don't have to follow the requirements to use buildings. And I know technically that's, like, I guess you could say cheating, but I feel like, to me, I play City Skylines more to just build freely. And some of the restrictions I find will force you to design your cities in certain ways which I'm not interested in. Like, I'll show you later, but the shopping mall requires you to place down, 3,000 cells of a certain building type, and I'm just like, nah, that's not how I want to play. So we're going into the load options when we're loading game, and clicking unlock all, and that way I don't have to go through that to, like, be able to use buildings. That's the changes that we've done. Okay, so that's why we're on the menu, just so everyone knows, and if you're following along since the start, you know, like, at what point I added the extra content and stuff. But yeah, so let's load in. Let's see. Now, the loading screen has changed. Like, with this faded thing. I think they were following along with Apple and their new liquid glass thingy. So yeah, so welcome back to Punderland. So previously we worked on this new business park, which was named after Dyson, which is why it's called Live Daughters. And where did I leave it last? I think we just left it at that, actually. And today, I do want to work on it a bit more, because I realized that there is potentially a gap in transport when it comes to this. But the main thing I want to focus on today is this park. So I talked about it previously, we didn't end up working on it, but I feel like this is what I want to work on now. So, oh no, hold up, pause. Okay, something has happened to our new business park. Hello, Rai, thank you for the shoutouts. What has happened? Not enough oh no. Okay, we've not been keeping track of our utilities, to be fair. Oh, I see. Yes, we don't have enough water. Okay. So our only water treatment facility at the moment is here. Water treatment plant. We have a facility overload. Water pumping station. Okay. Is it a budget issue, or do I genuinely not have enough? Oh no, okay, we're fine. So we turned down the budget previously. And if I switch this back up to 100, because now we can afford it, right? Whoa! Oh, what happened to my... Why do I have 44 million? That's not right. Okay, game, if you insist, I will gladly take it. I wish I had this amount of money in real life. Okay, let's see if that fixes the whole situation with water. Fix, please. Anything? Okay, that fixed it. Lovely. Perfection. Oh, we also have something here. Everything's on fire. Technically not. Like, it's the opposite, actually. Everything's running out of water. There is a crime scene. Now, I was kind of catching up with Granny's VOD today, and I saw that she was having this crime scene situation as well. I haven't reached the point of a stream where, like, I could see whether she resolved it. So we will observe whether this sports field will continue to have problems. And I feel like it's a bug, because we did not have this problem before the update. But it's okay. All of you college goers, have fun. Okay. Now, coming back to Live Daughters Business Park. So I was just sitting here looking at the park after our previous stream, right? And I really love the vibe of it. If you weren't here previously, this is our first kind of intentionally built up mixed use area. And so you have the train station when you first come in, and you're greeted by this giant park area. As you go into the offices and stuff, there are more parks to look at. Apparently, we have cars on pedestrian paths. That's a concept. But yeah, so then you just walk in here. I love this little linear park that we have. And then behind this area is like a residential area. And across it is the healthcare area. So hospital and a control... What was it? A disease control center. Which we kind of tried to accommodate to zombie apocalypses the last time. I'm still going to continue with that as a concept. But as I was sitting here, I was wondering whether the houses are a bit too far away from the train station without any other form of connection. So, for context, let's say you live... Where was Misty's apartment? If you live in Misty's apartment, which we have over here, who has moved in? There's a lot of people here, actually. Shelby, Ortega, Harding, Harrington, lots of people. Okay, and I get the road tool out, right? So, the distance from Misty's apartment to the train station. Well, actually, that's not that bad, but it's 300 meters, let's say. Based on what I've seen with how our government in Singapore does the whole like, 10-minute walk is a 400-meter distance. So that's like an 8 to 10-minute walk. Is that acceptable for a mixed-use area? Or should I put some kind of transportation through the pedestrian area? I think my issue is that if you live here, the only way you can get to the hospital right now is by walking up. Hold up, we're doing our screenshot thing again, everyone. So let me just get a screenshot of this. We're bringing up the display capture again. If it lets me see my screenshot, please. Game. Hold up. Come on, game. Work with us. This is why I need my old computer back. Open. I say game. This is actually Windows. Come on, Windows. Work with us. Okay. Here. There we go. So, this is our little canvas for drawing, right? So, if you live here, let's say, Misty's apartment, and you're trying to get to... Let's do green. You're trying to get to the general hospital area, which is here, right? The only way you can do so is by walking this way, this way, this way, crossing the road, going up to here, and then transferring to the bus stop, waiting for a bus, and then letting it go here, about 4 or 5 stops to stop here, and then you have to... let's change. I've run out of colors. Let's do this one. No, let's do orange. Then you have to walk across this road, through here, and then here if you're trying to get to just the hospital, but if you are at the research institute, you have to walk even further, which is here. Does that make sense? Alternatively, you would just walk this entire thing, but it's very far. It's 700 meters. Which, for context, I can't give context because I do not know the imperial conversion. But let's just say about a 10 to 15 minute walk. Which, if you are able-bodied, I feel is fine. Or if you're in a position to, like, use a bicycle and stuff, it's fine. But what if you're an old person or someone who struggles to walk? Like, then what? Because you don't have cars or anything in this general area. So, I don't know. I was leaving the option of somehow integrating a tram into this area, and I will probably do that for our new business park. The other one at the other side of this area. So if I hide this screen, let's see. For this one, I think I will plan a tram line into it, but it's more because I've already designed this one. Do I add a tram line to it? What do we think? In fact, let me do a poll. Did you follow a sim to that? As in, like, did I watch a sim and then conclude that that's what they did? No, I just looked at my bus network and was like, logically, that's what you would do. Should we add a tram to Live Daughters? Yes, no. Yes, no. And the reason why I'm unsure is that a tram in this area is gonna be a big mess because we don't have actual vehicle roads. So I need to find a way for the tram to weave in and out of this whole area without it hitting a pedestrian, let's say. Oh no, someone died. Oh, okay, no, I thought it was in Misty's apartment. Someone died next to Misty's apartment. Oh dear. Okay, well, have fun. It was nice knowing you. Yeah, so... Oh, that was fast. So yeah, I'll leave this for after we figure out the whole situation. But for now, let's do the park, which is here. Okay, so if you've seen like Montai City and stuff, one of the things I like to do with cities is actually integrate kind of greenways that aren't just parks in itself, but are also connectors between different districts. So in a sense, if you really wanted to, you could walk between neighborhoods and districts through a park. I really like that as a feature of my cities, and I've been wanting to add it to this city because we've got this major park, right? Which I left space to extend all the way to the Riverside Park, which will go across the entire of this area. And now that we have quays and piers, I thought it would be the perfect time to try and start working on it. Give the sim wheelchairs. I was thinking, should I just treat it as it's a pedestrian path, but vehicles can access it if necessary? Then we won't build a tram, because it will be very disruptive, is what I'm thinking. Also, underground tunnels for trams are a problem because there's no underground tram stop. So every time I want to create a stop, it would need to go back from underground to ground level and then like stop and then back down, which is very steep for this distance. So yeah, at most it could be sunken. That's why I'm very like unsure about the whole do I build a tram in Live Daughters. We kind of failed in urban planning in that sense. So for the future mixed use business park over here, let's consider a tram. Or at least some kind of bus priority lane. Okay, but so for this major park, right, at the moment, what has happened is we have this major road that is intersecting this whole area. So if you live on this side, there is actually no easy way to cross this road at the moment. And I just don't really like the idea of this. It's like you're kind of dividing up the city just because of cars. And that's not what we want in this city. Now that things have stabilized and we're at, what, 45 million? So instead of that, I want to do a sunken park where this road stays at this terrain level, right? But we're going to do some terraforming, again inspired by Granny Does Games, to lower the actual ground underneath the road. So in a sense, you have like a terraced park where people can walk underneath. So they can still connect between each other, and it'll be this whole green space that is like integrated with playgrounds and stuff. Potentially shops, I don't know if that will work. But yeah, so let's try that and see how it goes. So first of all, I'm going to delete this whole Avenue Boulevard. Now this is actually a very key road, right? The one I just destroyed. So like assume that it starts from this bridge, it goes through this side, and then it keeps going. The reason why it's a major road is that I do eventually plan on moving my highway to here, and so this becomes the main route that you would take to go through the city center and then into the second city. So what I would like to ask is if anyone has a good name for this boulevard. You want to change it, put yes to no. Okay, so that would be 3 yes, 1 no. Thank you, Ezzy. We will reflect this in the voting results due to change of mind. Okay, so let me clear this area up. By the way, update on the last stream, because I mentioned something about bacon sandwiches the last time, right? Guess what I started this stream with? A bacon sandwich. What fun. Okay, so terraforming tools are under landscaping, which is here, right? And we're gonna use the level terrain tool. So with the level terrain tool, what you need to do is you need to set the height that you want your terrain to go to first, okay? So for example, if I right click on this area, it will target this height, okay? So I've just right clicked it. It will target this circle that I just did that on, which is 5.66 meters. I don't know what that is relative to, but when you then press left click on like a different area, it will go up to that height. Okay, so this is me using left click. You can't see a difference here because it's already at that height, but that's why I'm doing it at this side so you can see. Okay, and then if say I want to change it to this area where my mouse is, I'm right clicking here. It has changed it to minus 7.05 meters. And then if I left click again, tada, this is the new height that it's gone to. So in case you've never used terraforming, that's how it roughly works for level. Now, for shift, all it's doing, and I'm so glad they've added some explainers to the controls now with this update. Left click raises, right click lowers. So if I left click, tada, we've got a raise. If only it was that easy in the corporate world. And if you right click, it will lower. There we go. So you can see this one's very sensitive. I would recommend playing around with the brush size and the brush strength if you're going to use these things. Because otherwise you can see how quickly it changed, right? So, but this brings us to the next one, which is the soften terrain tool, right? Which all you have to do... Oh, there's a fast soften. Okay, even I didn't know that. If you left click, it will actually gently smooth out any existing land features. So you can see it has smoothed out what we've done here. Apparently we still have a hole, which is fun. Okay, that will work for now. And then apparently right click is fast soften, so I didn't know that. And this last one, I've not actually tried. Slope terrain tool. What are the controls? Set target. Okay, let's try, right? So we're going to set for this white line. So I've right clicked it. And then if I press left click, what does it do? Okay. I don't see how this is any different from the other tool. Because if I do this, what difference does it make? Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe if I do this, and then... Oh no. Okay, well, we're gonna have to learn what the last one does, because I don't know. But we're just gonna soften everything for now. Azure Parkway, Underpassage Park. Azure Parkway. I like Parkway, actually. Okay, we'll rename it to that once I actually put it back. Because the annoying thing with this game is, the moment you destroy a road, it starts to rename everything, so we're just gonna make sure it doesn't do that. But to start with, let us create our sunken area, okay? So we've removed the road. At the moment, the terrain is at the same height as the road. So if I use the level terrain tool, right click on this. So the current terrain height is 6.31 meters, okay? So what we're gonna do to allow it to have somewhat of a bridge is I'm going to do this to minus 6.3... minus 6, I guess? Meters. Okay. And then we'll left click. So we're creating a giant hole in our city at the moment. Don't panic, it will be fixed. But I am doing this like liberally, just to make sure we have enough clearance for what we're gonna do. Okay. So giant hole. Parky McParky face. Parkway McParky face. Oh my gosh, Betty. You know what? Maybe we should do that. That could be the name of the park. Because we need, again, this is Punderland. We need punnier names than what we've been doing so far. Only Rat Race Realm and Live Daughters have lived up to the punny branding of this city. But yes, okay. So now that I've removed all of this, we then go in with our original road, which is the 6-lane divided road. Okay. And if I do this, you'll see now it's actually like gonna cause this issue, right? So I'm gonna turn it up to 10 meters. Hopefully that's like a similar height that it was. Give me a moment, let me see. Oh no, okay, we've gone actually way above 10 meters. 6.35. That shouldn't be right. That's 10 meters. But okay, we'll go with it. Okay, the main thing is, I want the bridge to be, like, flat, right? So, you may see over here with in the middle of the road tool, right? Do we see how there's like a 74 meters and a minus 17%? So we're focusing on that triangular one. That's the percentage gradient of your road. So if I say I page up, it becomes minus 3%, right? What we're actually aiming for is something close to 0. So we're still a bit off. So that's where I'll go into elevation tool. I will change the elevation step so that I have a more fine-tuned way of adjusting this height all the way down to the first bar. Okay, and then if I do page up, you can see now we can do like minus 1.7. Minus 0.1, I think that's good. So that's close enough to neutral that I'm satisfied. Okay, so once you place that down, that becomes the elevated bridge. Okay, the poor garbage truck. Sorry, that's why we are paused. I mean, look at this person. Oh no. Hold up, who are you? Oh, I can't even click on them. Because they're floating, I can't click. Well, it was nice knowing you. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing on this side. Now, the reason why I did at least 10 meters of elevation difference, right, is if you're trying to do something similar in your city, and you did anything below 5 or 10, right, if you place down the road, you will see that it actually creates this wall situation, which actually is a design feature in itself if you want to use this as a feature, but it will only start doing that bridge thing from 8.75 meters onwards apparently. So you can see. So keep this in mind when you're trying to do like a gradient difference. And that's why I did 10, because I do want to have the ability to put stuff underneath the bridge. Like that. Ta-da! Hello Sam, welcome in. You have come in to a giant hole. Which... giant hole, floating garbage trucks and people. It's a fun time in Punderland. How has everyone's week been, by the way? Hope it's been okay. I've just been busy. I don't know, I'm just in that stage at the moment where, like, I'm just working on stuff and nothing's finished. When you're at that 80% mark of doing stuff, right? And you just feel like it will never end. That's me right now. I don't see a finish line. I don't see the light at the end of a tunnel. And I'll probably talk a bit more about this, like, more. Which is, where we recap on my experience at the weekend market and the lead up to that. Like, once we actually get going with this build. Because I feel like there was a lot of, like... I guess emotions is the right word. There's a lot of emotions and ups and downs when it comes to preparing for something like that. And I feel like this specific instance, there was more of that. So we'll run through it. But just like realities of trying to start a business, if you will. Okay, but yeah, so we have our neutral bridge now. So life gets easier in this sense. We'll keep it at 12.5. And then I'm just going to start here. Bring it all the way. I hope it will tell me. Okay, no, apparently not. Let's do it from this side. Give me guides, please. Guides. Okay, there we go. Do we see that guide? So, if I do 180 and try and aim for that guide again. Please give me the guide. Okay. Can I... Oh... Let's do a bit more. Let's do another 70 or so meters. And... Okay, you know what? We will estimate. We'll go with it. There we go. Okay. No, no, not happy. Wait, do you see it's like slightly too curved? We will not accept that. Okay, try again. Try again. Can we see where that guide goes? I don't know if you'll actually... Okay, there we go. Do we see? So, there is the, like, connecting guide this way. I can't move my mouse and I can't point. There is a connecting mouse that will let us actually turn our curve in a way that will seamlessly integrate with that existing road. Perfect. Okay, so that is the road we connected. What was it again? Park Azure... Parkway, make park face. Make parky face. Okay, there we go. Yes, perfect. So, that's the name of the road. What I will do is... Oh, actually... No, it's fine. I'll leave the middle, like, divider thing like that. So, we have this now. The fundamental structure of this road is there, right? Now, it's a matter of... you know, smoothing out the terrain, all of these things to create something that will hopefully be, like, not just a hole in the ground, basically. So I'm going to set terrain height here, and I'm just going to adjust the terrain within this area. So there can be a raised area that is directly where the neighborhood should be, right? But then we'll start to terrace it downwards so that there becomes like a park underneath. I do also want to consider that the park is supposed to continue here, this side. So, actually, this road also needs to be adjusted to accommodate that. So, let's bring this here. Ta-da! So again, another giant hole. There we go. Is anyone playing City Skylines right? Skylines. English. Is this what a bacon sandwich does to people when they eat it before streams? We don't know. Okay. Azzy, are you still playing City Skylines? Are we allowing it to generate money? There we go. So we've got 2 now. Misty's playing. How are we doing? How are we doing? Hopefully it's okay. I've just been really enjoying the process of playing this game, with its limitations as well when it comes to playing vanilla, right? But I do feel like, relative to City Skylines 1, there's a lot of things I can still do within the vanilla game. So yeah, I've been enjoying this city so far, actually. Okay, so giant hole in the ground, that's lovely. Let's smooth it out. So I'm gonna use the soften tool now and just bring things gently together first. I want to try this key situation out. Okay, so if you've not looked at the new content, right? So some of the things that have released with this new update is this. So we've got a wooden leisure pier, which we can now place. Apparently you can even do it as like shapes like this too, so it's really just a path on water. You've got the narrow version, you've got the medium version, so that, and you've got the wide version, which is that. That's quite nice, actually. Like, if you want to make a Coney Island or something on your city, these are great options. I did feel like I needed this at some point. I can't remember if it's with this city or with Montai, but it's nice that we have it now. So we also have the narrow keys, which is basically just a pathway with a wall like this. So it's a decorated sort of divider thing that allows you to place paths right up to the coastal line. There's two types, so we've got the smooth concrete and the concrete. So if I place it like this, there we go. So that's the two options. So depending on whether you're doing something that's more, you know, urban versus industrial feeling, you've got options there now. And they also come in, if I go to... We've got the two-way road one. So you can have roads directly up to the... Are these new? I can't remember. Ooh, oh, this is cool. This might have been in the game, but it's just I've never noticed it. But I love this. Look at the pillars and the arch. Ooh. Unfortunately, I can't use it for our main boulevard because that's a high capacity thing. Maybe we have it here. 5-lane highway, one-way suspension bridge. Whoa. Okay. So we've got that. There's a 2-lane highway that has this design, but then I'll have to put down 2 different roads. We could do that, technically. Like, I'll just have to break up the road so that the part crossing the river is, like, separated. This one, when I was looking through, intrigued me. Mainly because look at the length of the name. We've got a 4-lane highway, double train track, double-decked, extra-dosed bridge. It probably took them a year just to create that name, quite frankly, and that's why we don't have any content in this game. But this one is interesting because if I place this high enough, right? Do we see that? It's actually a road on top with a train track below. Look at the detail of this. Whoa. This is very New York City, I feel. Like the whole bridge, wow. Lovely. I like this. Okay, we might actually use this because if we take a look, our regional rail is here, right? So we did need a way for the train tracks to cross over to the second city, and this might be an option, although it's only one rail. So I'm wondering whether that becomes a capacity bottleneck. We will have to see, but we have this now in the game, and it looks so majestic, I will say. All of the new bridges and stuff. I think this is supposed to be part of a proper DLC, but I didn't really pay attention to what it was supposed to be. I just know that many things in this game are currently delayed, but we will work with what we have. And if what we have is a, what was it? A 4-lane highway, double train track, double-decked, extra-dose bridge, we will accept that. It is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, soften the terrain, let's put it back. Right, so we have all of that. Oh, these are all two. Do we have 3-lane, 5-lane? I wish they came in 8-lane, 6-lane. Oh, wait. Do we have it? Or was this always in the game? I actually don't remember. This thing, can I place this thing here? It'll be quite cool. I don't know, this is like a random feature. I just want to test the idea of it. Oh? Oh. This is quite cool because imagine if you're going through the linear park, right? This can be almost a design feature of it. So as you're going underneath, then you reach this milestone of like, oh, I've reached the triangular bridge. And then you can choose to like keep going or not. So I don't mind that. Let's leave it. Okay. Oh, sorry, Misty, I missed your message. Just log into that city you were helping me with. The trains hate me. Oh my gosh. I don't know whether they improved the train interface with this update. Because no, I completely understand if they're not behaving. It's not the most logical when you're first learning it. But fingers crossed, you are able to figure it out. And if anything, tell me to jump into a call with you, and then we will solve it together. That's another option. Okay. Now, I'm gonna destroy this first. Let's try and apply those new features, the keys and stuff, into this sunken area. So, by right, you use the keys at like a water area, but they're also useful for when there's huge terrain differences like this. Will this work? Okay, that one doesn't work. So let's see if it's possible to use it. If I do this... Oh! Oh, you can! It's not very smooth. Like, you can see how the road's kind of going all over the place. But it does technically work. Oh, okay, but there's a slight issue with the terrain because the wall needs to be a certain height, I think, for it to work properly. Okay, this is gonna be an experiment for today's stream as to how feasible it is to use these key things. So let's see. Okay. Okay, so if it's the original height... Oh gosh, that's... that's a bumpy road, but technically, it does work. So let me try a straight line first. So we can understand at least how to use it before we start going crazy with it. I think what has to happen is you need to place it far enough into the cliff that you can see the wall coming together. And then you just have to make sure that... Let's see. You just have to make sure that the elevation doesn't change too much, otherwise it goes crazy. Because that's still a bit wobbly. I think it also has to do... Do we see how the road's doing this wavy thing depending on the length of it? I think it has something to do with it as well. So as we increase it... Okay, let me try that. So it's not the smoothest. I don't think it's meant for this sort of situation. But I was just curious. It's not the smoothest, but it does work. And if I do... Let's say we're trying to do a height here, right? Okay. So, downside to the key is that you've got this dip if you're trying to do a stacked terrain thing. This is solvable, technically, because you could put bushes and trees and stuff to hide the fact that there is this hole. But something to keep in mind if you're trying to, like, do a little bit of a hack around, like, this situation. If I put a pavement, does that solve it? Oh, I know. What if we're being very silly and we do, like, a narrow... Oh. Oh, I mean, technically... Elevation too low. Okay, wait. Pavement path? It's just gonna be a whole stream of experimenting here, everyone. No, I don't think it's gonna... This might be something that works better in modded city skylines. I do want to go back into Montai City once we have our computer again. Oh, actually, how horrible will this like affect the oh, okay, no, that's too much going on. I think this key thing works better against water. So, not for phase 1 of our design, but in future, once we have at least like the first attempt of this park, we can always go in once we're familiar with the system and fix it. Because even here, oh, actually, wait. No, see, it doesn't actually let me change the... All it's doing is bringing it further and further out, which is not really the point. Trammy make tram face. You actually live Wibble Wobble Way? We need to have that. Wait, do we have a road that's particularly wibbly wobbly? We shall call that Wibble Wobble Way. Do we have that anywhere? If anyone spots a very like wobbly road, tell me. And then that will officially become Wibble Wobble Way. Okay. I want to try and make this key thing work. Let me try at least 1 or 2 more times. I don't know what's happening in the sky today as well, like with all the planes flying around. It's not normally this bad. Okay, maybe another option we can do, right, is if you place down a key path first, and then you try and move the terrain in to show it. Does that help? Slope terrain tool? I don't think... Because you are already a key. Did Granny try this on her stream earlier, by the way? I can just imagine this giving her a nightmare. Because even for me, I'm like, oh no, what are we doing? 0.1. Okay, maybe this could be a good compromise, is that we put it at a certain height where it's high enough where the wall can be placed down, but we leave a bit of a raised ground part here. So it's almost like a cliff face, but we just built in the path. I think that's better than having a dip. Let's work with this. Hi Treasy, welcome in. How are we doing? Hopefully less busy this week compared to last week. Oh dear. Or was it even just Tuesday? I don't remember. But yeah, okay. So we're trying new features today. We're trying to make this key thing work. So far, I'm not sure if we are successful. Okay, there we go. Oh, no, wait. Look. So that's the height. That's the height where the key stops. Okay. So, if I terraform this to lower the dirt... Oh, it shows. Okay, wait, no, we have a solution to the flat floor thing. Okay. So the key just needs to be taller than the actual texture. And then you can have a flat like base. Okay, problem solved. I wouldn't do the terrain, like the stacking situation thing, but at least we have it at the highest height now. So that works. Okay. And then if I level out the top bit here, we will have an even path, hopefully. It's a bit bumpy. Ooh, it's a bit of a... It's hard to balance whether or not you want a flat base here or a flat top here. Because once you flatten the top, it actually does eat into the ground here. So not a perfect solution, but we'll work with it. We'll work with it. Because again, this is vanilla. It's okay that it's not like perfect. Okay, but yeah, so let me try that officially now. The last one has been kind of crazy. Oh no. Hopefully it calms down soon. Hello, Granny. You come back from a friend's hangy and see that I'm being blamed for something. Yes, we're blaming you for today's stream because it's because you play City Skylines on a Saturday that causes me to want to play this game, and then we end up streaming it. Okay, Granny, did you try using the keys and the cliffs and stuff today? Because this is what we're attempting. And, oh my gosh, wait. Like, I don't know what we're doing, but I think we figured out how to at least get it going. But I can just imagine that this is gonna be a nightmare if you ever decide to take it on. I want more of a curve, please. There we go. Okay. There, a nice smooth... nice smooth path, but not nice smooth floor. Soften tool. No. Okay, level tool. I actually don't mind having a bit of a cliff at the side, because that could be just a, you know, a design feature. So we'll have rocks and things and just... Oh, you know what we could do as well? So soften this. Right. I'm gonna do like this height. So, random jaggedy edges. Yeah, that's a bit too high, but we'll work with it. Okay. So, this then becomes, with our narrow wooden leisure pier, what's the minimum height we can do? Let's see. Like, imagine a nature walk through this area, right? So if I do this... Okay. So, I'll smooth out that curve. But the idea is, you have this raised wooden boardwalk pier thing. I can't remember which one Shelly said it was supposed to be. But... this one... There. Okay. So, it's almost like a treetop walk. Of sorts, as part of this park, where as you walk through the wood and stuff, it will be amongst the trees. So let's say I put a tree here. We'll have London Plain. Okay, so imagine this. Apple tree, why not? Sure. We need to put down the oak. This is what I forgot the last time. London Plain, Hickory. Where's the oak? Once again, it has disappeared. Poplar. Oh my gosh, it's gone again. Why? Apple tree, oak. Here we go. See, the lovely tall trees. This is the difference. Oh, I know why there's so much noise in the sky. Okay, so Singapore's National Day is in August. So that's 9th of August, right? But around this time of year, they start rehearsing for the parade that happens on the 9th of August. It's a big hoo-ha, like the city centre is always a mess when that happens. But it's either at this place called the Padang, which is an open field. If I'm not wrong, that's the literal translation. Or it's at our floating stadium, which has been torn down to be rebuilt. So at the main CBD of Singapore, right, there is a... You know what? I started it. We're gonna go on Google Earth. Okay, hold up. Let's do this. Hi Alex, welcome in. You're here for geography lessons, everyone. Okay. Display capture. Let's do this. Okay, so main city center of Singapore is here. Sorry, I would have done Google Earth, but you know what? Okay, wait. Close. Indecisiveness kicks in. Google Earth. Hangies are so cool. You love the epic social vibes. Is that an actual term for a hangout in Australia? Where is it? Okay. So, let's go all the way into... Hopefully my computer doesn't crash. Here we go. Welcome to Marina Bay in Singapore. This is the main city center. Most of it has not been built. But, okay. So, every year, 9th of August... Oh, in fact, I think this was the stage for one of the years. This was a temporary floating stadium, if you will, that existed because our national stadium was being redeveloped at the time. So this was like a temporary structure that was used to host events and stuff. The first ever Youth Olympic Games was hosted on this thingy. So fun fact, it was in 2010. So 10,000 people get to sit on this thing. And then the stage is just floating in the like city center's bay. So like that weird tower thing is here, and then you just have the stage here. And it's on the 9th of August, and it's just like a whole thing to celebrate the fact that it's an independent republic country. So yeah, I think that's what the planes are flying around for today. Right, and this thing has been torn down, but it's because they want to redevelop it to be a bigger thing. Also, fun fact, the Formula 1 Grand Prix thingy in Singapore is, like, if you're not familiar with the specific track, right, if you follow along this, where my cursor is, it's essentially this giant loop around, oh, I don't actually remember, like here, I think. And as you can see, this is actually part of the track. So it used to turn in here, they'll drive around, and then they'll go underneath the paddock thing, back around. In fact, you can actually see the line over here, and then it keeps going. And this part is a part of the track that's just permanently there. Because nothing much happens in this part of Singapore. And this is the pit building, which is also just permanently there. So this part's just left there, and every year they will start like closing down the roads and stuff in preparation for it in September. And like that's the entire track. Okay, but yeah, so why did I bring up the floating stadium? Like, oh, because the planes were flying by. So yeah, this is one of the locations of that parade every year, or it is, where is the Padang? Here. Oh, you can actually see a glimpse of it. So you see, some years, they will actually build this giant structure thing here. Something happened with this, like, timestamp, I guess, because this is the structure, and then this is just empty. Can I change, like, what year we're looking at for this? Clean exploration map? Map. No, that doesn't work. Okay. Historical imagery. Let's see if there's anything. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there we go. Last year. So National Day Parade, NDP 24. This giant thing is like seating that they always put up when they host it here. And then this is the stage, essentially. I don't know why, but they choose to make it white. And it's outdoors. So good luck to the cleaning team. Hats off to you. So sometimes it's held here. As you can see, like this thing has been torn down. It's because they're going to build it up. Oh, I wonder if it actually captured the Youth Olympics. Nope. What was this? Google! What a useful, like, image. Thank you. Okay. There was also a year or two where... So this is now the actual, like, redeveloped stadium area. Let's go back here. So one year, the parade was actually hosted in this giant dome thing. This is the main, like, stadium that we have. Taylor Swift performed here. Lady Gaga was here 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, lots of fun, I guess. So, yes, just random showing around of, like, stuff that happens here. And if you hear planes flying around, it's because they're rehearsing for the parade in August. So yeah. Oh dear. A hangi is a Maui feast. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know about that. Food is buried in the ground with hot coals and cooked. Ooh. What sort of food do they usually focus on? Because that sounds so cool. I did not know about that. Thank you for sharing that, actually. You think you're finally having the buses and trains under control. Yay! You now have a cruise ship dock and a cargo. Wow, Granny. See, I've only reached the first hour and a bit of your stream today. Cause I was out today grocery shopping for... Because tomorrow's Father's Day, right? So usually I will either order something nice or bring my, like, whoever's the day happens to be. So for my mom, I usually bring her out to eat and stuff. But this time round, for Father's Day, I was a bit like, sometimes eating out doesn't feel worth it because nowadays, you get mediocre food, mediocre service, for astronomical prices. So I was like, what's the point? Like, I'd rather maybe try and cook something. And I knew that my dad has always liked this specific steakhouse chain called Tony Roma's. It's an American chain. Because they have these baby back ribs that they used to do. I've had it once before they closed down in Singapore. But yeah, so that always stuck in my head. And a few days ago, I received this cookbook that like from a YouTuber that I've been following for 10 years. Her name's Beth. Entertaining with Beth. She's a lovely lady. She used to live in America, now lives in France. And like, she's just so warm and inviting, her videos and stuff. But she managed to come up with a cookbook, and I got it recently, and I was looking through the recipes and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, ribs. Maybe we can do that. So I spent this afternoon going to the supermarket trying to get ribs and stuff. We got them, thankfully. Didn't buy $61 steak this time. And so I was just like preparing it and everything. I had a bit of a snafu because the actual recipe is supposed to be for 2 kilograms of ribs. So the spice blend and everything, the measurements were for that. But I only got 1 kilogram of ribs, and I kind of left it with the original proportions, and I placed all of the spice rub on 1 kilogram of ribs. And so after I did the whole marinating thing and stuff, I was sitting here being like, are the ribs going to be too salty? Because I've placed 2 kilograms worth of spice rub on 1 kilogram of like meat. And so handily enough, I decided to ask this wonderful chef called ChatGPT to be like, hey, this is my situation. I'm following a recipe. It said it's for 2 kilograms of meat. I'm putting it on 1. Do you advise me to actually do something about it, or will I actually be fine? And they were like, nah, you'll probably have a really salty bit of ribs. So, yeah, I know that ChatGPT isn't the most accurate, but I feel like in this instance, it was probably right. So what I did was, I did like clean off the first batch that I did and redid the correct proportion for the ribs. Hopefully, it means that it won't be overly spicy, but, sorry, not spicy, salty. But yeah, so we had that whole situation. I will let you know next stream how it goes, fingers crossed. I've never made ribs before, so... You love char siu ribs? Oh, yeah, those are good. And actually here, they usually don't come with bone. So it's always just like... So, okay, char siu is more like Cantonese, right? Which is a dialect of Mandarin. So here, we would just say cha sao, which is cha sao. Sao is like... how do I translate it? Roast. It's just roast. Charcoal roast pork with an Asian flavor, or like a Chinese flavor specifically. So, yeah, usually, if you know what, like, Hainanese chicken rice is, right? It's this flavorful, rice that is made from the chicken stock that is cooked for the chicken. So it's usually steamed or, like, apparently roasted, but it's, like, also fried at the same time. And so the soup that is made during that process gets used in the rice to cook. So you get this really, like, fragrant bowl of rice with, slices of meat, right? And so here, there is an adaptation of that dish called cha sao fan, which is the like roast pork and stuff, like that seasoned pork, right, with rice. Usually it's with plain rice. So it's a very accessible dish in that sense. And then you get cha sao bao. Bao is this, you know, the like white color bun thing where there's filling on the inside. That's another very accessible thing, like here. I hope so, Rai, thank you. We'll let you know if I burn down the kitchen. You'll probably smell it from there. You'll know if things go wrong. But the plan is, so there's the ribs. There is, what else did I buy? I'm gonna do like potato salad and just corn. But it's not corn on the cob. I considered that, but I was a bit like, the corn we get in Singapore is not the best. So I got, like, canned corn that's already been like turned into nibs, right? And then I'll char it in the pan, put some lime, coriander, and cherry tomatoes, mix it up, and then that can be its like own side dish. So hopefully, as a whole, there will be at least the veg, the carbs, and the meat. Because nowadays my parents don't have the biggest appetite, so I'm a bit like, oh, okay, I don't really want to make too much food. But yeah, so that's the situation. here with my weekend. Okay. Now, while we were yapping away, we have somehow managed to create this nature walk at the same time. And now that I look at it, I'm like, wow, okay. We managed to do this while not paying attention. But imagine this. So you're just walking around right in the heart of the city, right? And then you get this little nook of greenery where you get glimpses of the city, but it's also still kind of like nestled away. I think I like this concept. We can keep it going. And then you have ways where it connects back up into the main paths and stuff. But yeah, so that can be a feature of the park. So if you're down all the way here... Oh, I love it from down here as well. So you'll have like walkways down here as well. Just if you don't want to go through the nature park. But I like that contrast with elevation. So yes, let's keep going. Let's save first actually. Okay, so Punderland, we are doing 7-1. Okay. There we go. Cool. Has anyone been cooking anything interesting recently? Do you have plans for the weekend when it comes to food? I'm still actually quite interested in this. Oh, it's Hungy. Thank you. I missed that bracket. Hungy. I'm fascinated by that concept actually, because I can imagine just the flavors that come out from just like the coal and stuff. Oh, that's gonna be something for my ribs, is that I don't intend on barbecuing anything because we don't have a barbecue and I don't want to set up a temporary one. So I have this ingredient left over from when I was working on MasterChef. Ooh. Oh, look at this. Okay, but this is not safe because you're literally just gonna walk here and then there's no railings or anything, so maybe not. But interesting that concept works. But yeah, so when they finished filming MasterChef, right, they did have leftover ingredients, so they did let us bring some of it home. One of the things I brought home was this bottle of liquid smoke. So it's a flavoring thing made from hickory, right? So when you open the bottle, it's literally just a black liquid that smells of smoke. I use that in my spice rub in the hope that, like, we'll get smokiness despite not grilling on, like, an actual barbecue or something. Or Barbie, as per the Australians in chat. Okay. But yeah, so that's sort of the plan for tomorrow's lunch. Okay. Now, I don't want the nature walk to be all on the boardwalk. I do want some of it to come in and be, let's say here. Yeah, that looks good. Oh wait, no, too high. Here. Okay, so we'll come back onto land for some of it. Ooh. The transitions between key and not key will be an interesting challenge. Okay. Let's work with it. Let's just see what happens. There. And then a pavement path? Maybe? Oh, wow. Okay, this is an interesting area that we have to work with. Right. So let's say that we connect it here. Uh-oh. Right, so that's just normal path. And this tree is a bit in the way, so let's just adjust this. Pine. There was a tree, was it London Plane? Something worked very well as a side tree earlier. There we go. Okay. Oh, hickory is really tall. Okay, there we go. So straight away, even before putting trees on the high area, I like how having this nature walk sunken in actually brings so much greenery to this area. question just becomes, how do people get on and off this area? I think this nature walk. Okay, the nature walk can start from... Ooh. I need to... Hold up, let me think this through to decide what we're gonna do with this area. Your son uses liquid smoke for cookie. Wait, I'm assuming you're meaning cooking and not in cookies, because like I've never heard of a smoked cookie. Although, it doesn't sound terrible. Can someone experiment and like let us know how smoked cookies taste? I feel like that could be the next big thing. Cooking, okay. He recently won first prize for his beer. Oh, interesting. Smoke in beer. That's a fascinating... I never, like, got into drinking, so now I just don't drink. But it's fascinating, the whole flavor profiles of different, like, alcohols and breweries and things. It's almost like coffee or tea. Like, I don't understand it, to be honest, but when people say that they have tasting notes of ABC, I'm just like, oh, it tastes like coffee. Yes. So, okay, but the one thing I do know about, like, flavor preferences, right, is that, in Singapore, Western style coffee, and I make this distinction because there is a, like, different style of coffee called, Nanyang coffee, which is a style of coffee that's more Southeast Asian. I think specifically Singaporean and Malaysian, actually. From when, like, migrants came down from China a few hundred years ago? I don't know my history very well. Oh my gosh, wait. The game has been not paused? Okay, well, I mean, nothing is broken, so that's good. But yeah, so Western coffee in Singapore tends to have a very acidic profile, which I don't like. So I have realized that I prefer coffee in Malaysia and Indonesia, because it's sort of that, like, creamier, smoother taste. Yeah, but I like like Nanyang coffee. That's nice. Okay, you're loving creating green space. I have to say, Granny, your ability to do the, you know, that, like, the placing down of trees thing, you do it in such an intricate, well thought through way. I mean, whether or not you actually are thinking of it as you make it, but it's just, when you see it as a whole, it looks so well arranged and things. Like, compared to me, I do the more organic looking where it's just nature spreads in a random manner, right? But you do the manicured garden look so well. And I've really been enjoying watching that, like, come through whenever you do greenery and stuff. Are you judging Western coffee by Starbucks? No, it's not a Starbucks thing. So I did an experiment, because whenever I go to Malaysia, there is this specific brand I get called Zeus Coffee. Z-U-S. Z-U-S? I learned it as Z. Which one did you learn? Did you learn Z or Z? Because apparently, it's not common to say Z in Singapore, but I say it. There's another specific word that I say weirdly as well, but I do not know where it came from. But, so Zeus Coffee is a Malaysian coffee brand, right? And, oh, I don't like that it's doing that thing. Although it could represent the start of a bridge, I guess. Sure. You do you, game. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me change this. But, so Zeus Coffee sells this coffee called a Spanish latte. Which is like, I think when you Google it, you'll find that it's actually a diabetic's worst nightmare. Because it is, like, I think condensed milk, sugar, and fresh milk or something. Like, there's all sorts of things on it. And, but it's so good. It is so satisfying. And whenever I'm in Malaysia, I will get it. So every year I have to go back for Chinese New Year / Lunar New Year / like that time of year, basically. It's the equivalent of Christmas for anyone with like Chinese ethnicity, if you will. So yeah, and then whenever I go there, I will every morning just get that coffee. Even if it's not near me, I will order it on basically Uber, but here it's called Grab. So, because it's so, I'm not always in Malaysia, so whenever I'm there, I take advantage of it. I'm like, I am getting this coffee regardless. It's super nice and rich and thick. But so, because of that, I started trying to find an equivalent in Singapore, right? And so the first thing I tried was the same brand but in Singapore. And every single time I've tried it, it does not taste the same. It is acidic. It is all the things I don't like about coffee. And so at first, I thought it was just a quality control issue. But then I started exploring lots of different brands. And I found that same pattern of coffee is just acidic in Singapore. And I asked around, and apparently that's just a preference thing of Singaporeans. I'm just like, ooh, can you prefer something else, maybe? Like, I don't know, actual drinkable coffee, thanks? So, yeah. When I have coffee in the morning, I do a basic instant coffee. It's just Nescafe Gold, with milk. So, and I like that, it's actually perfect. But yeah, so that's just my adventures in outside coffee, if you will. Treasy says Z. Okay, interesting. I think technically any British, like English origin country would say Z. I don't know why I learned it as Z. Apparently you have a good palate, so your son gets me to taste all of his beers. There are many different flavors in beers. And are they very malty or like barley tasting, or are there different notes that you can taste from that? So it's an instant sachet type thing? So no, like when you're at a cafe, that kind, all of Singaporeans' Western style coffee is acidic. You love gardening, and so you really like arranging trees and bushes in the game, and I'm so glad that you have the ability to now. So one day when we convince you to do modded City Skylines, you'll love the wonders of actually moving things around freely. No, but I would say, like, even as someone who has used mods in City Skylines 2, I'm sort of feeling the whole case of maybe it's worth waiting for this game to actually stop being updated before you touch mods. Like, City Skylines 1 is perfect now to play with mods because they don't update the game anymore. So mods stop breaking. And that's the biggest issue for me when it comes to mods, is that they keep breaking because the game keeps updating. And that's annoying. As much as they're great in terms of features and stuff, but you can't keep keeping up with all of these broken mods. That's the whole problem we're having with Montai right now, is that like every other week something breaks and then I can't do anything. You like Nescafe too? The coffee snobs will turn up their noses up. I see nothing wrong with Nescafe at all. Like, I feel, as in I understand that for people who can taste stuff, perhaps their preference is I don't like ABC, and preferences are fine, like you're completely allowed to do that. But ultimately, people just want to drink or enjoy things that fit their tastes, and if their tastes are cheap, that technically benefits them because they save money. That's what I was like. I don't remember the context of when exactly I said this, but generally, I don't eat things like caviar, and in Asia there's abalone, that is eaten usually during like Chinese New Year and stuff, and I don't like it, and so I feel like I benefit from that because I don't have to spend money getting it, you know. So when I was in the UK, oh my gosh, I really enjoyed a good old Jaffa cake, the basic McVitie's one. I tried Marks and Spencer because that's the only Jaffa cake we can get in Singapore. It's more expensive, it doesn't taste as good, and so whenever I get a chance to just have plain old simple Jaffa cakes, it is a good day. My gosh, I'm trying to figure out how we can deal with this bridge thing. So that's what's happening here, in case you're wondering what's happening on screen. And then there's like Walker's Salt and Vinegar. We've talked about this before on stream, but there is that as well. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lower it actually. Maybe that will help me a bit, and then we'll bring it up. Yeah, so I enjoy all these simple simple foods. I mean, I say this now, and then here he is being like, oh, let's eat steak, and accidentally buys a $60 steak. Which, again, actually, no, it proves my point, because I did not feel like I had the palate to appreciate a $60 steak compared to a standard steak. To me, it actually tasted worse. So, yeah, I wouldn't spend to, like, get... If it tasted better for my personal preferences, and it happened to be more expensive, then fine. But to me, that felt like a case of I'm spending more for something I don't actually like. You've never had Jaffa cakes. Oh, but we know what these are, right? Or do we need a, like, quick, like, introduction to the world of Jaffa? If you don't like chocolate and orange, then there's no point. Because Jaffa cakes are literally chocolate orange. It's disputed. Some people say it's cake. Some people say it's biscuit. Some people... Yeah. It's both, I would say. Okay, I'm struggling to get this bridge connected because of the terrain. This is the interesting part of City Skylines. It's when you have to deal with terrain. So far, our city is very flat, and so we've not had to deal much with this. But if we remember, and if you were here for that non-commentary stream when I was like not feeling well in Montai, where I was figuring out my noodles, the highway noodles, yeah, that's how it feels like. Yeah, see, like, what's this? Why is there that? Oh my gosh. Jaffa cake's so good and tasty and good. We get 2 flavors, orange and... There is a raspberry Jaffa cakes. Are these from McVitie's as well? I've never had any of the other flavors. I've only had the original orange. And I think it's because for me, it's so scarce that I don't... Like, whenever I have access to Jaffa cakes, the only one I can have is orange by the time I get to it. Oh my gosh, this thing. Okay, let's hope this connects properly. No. Okay, we can do this, It just has to be a smaller curve. I think you've seen them on TV, but not in our shops. It's not very common in Singapore for sure. We can only get it at one place, which is Marks and Spencer. And because it happens to be a British shop. But we don't get the actual brand that I like here. Okay, perfect. It's smooth. At least smooth-ish. Oh my gosh. We do get, what's that brand? So we talked about crisps and stuff on stream before, and then Rai was saying the Japanese, the Australian, Thins or something. I've seen Smiths. I've seen Thins. Yeah, but anything else... It's just whatever the supermarket decides to bring in on a given day. If I'm lucky and they bring it in and I see it, then I'll get it. Like, there was a period of time they were bringing in what was it called? It was called Nando's. They were bringing in Nando's sauce and stuff and like marinades, and I got used to using those when I was in the UK as an easy way to like flavor chicken thighs, like for dinner and stuff. Oh my gosh, hello Humberto! Hello! Oh my gosh, nice to see you. So, okay, as we run through the old school times on stream, we had Kanashi, we had Karina. This, everyone, is Humberto, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is from Portugal. Who once had a bird in his room while live on stream on Twitch. How have you been, Humberto? Oh my gosh, welcome to the side of YouTube. Welcome to a new generation of City Skylines. Welcome to us talking about food. Humberto, have you had a Jaffa cake? Oh my gosh. I should check out the international section at the supermarket for Jaffa cakes. If you get them, like if you have them, try it. Because I quite enjoy it. But again, it's not a universal thing. Like if you don't like orange, don't. Okay. So we have this sort of really... You know, I'm sorry everyone, I know we've been staring at this bridge for the last like 10 minutes, but I just want that curve to look right. So it's... Hey, give me a second, everyone. I'll get back to chat shortly. Uh, 20. Okay, let's aim for this, hopefully. Okay, I will live with that. That's smooth enough. Right. You remember? Of course! That was peak. That was the peak of your streams. In fact, I feel like the clip is still... Hold up. Let's just... I'm gonna look for it. Twitch. Do you still stream, Humberto? Because I haven't been on Twitch much these days. Oops, spelled it wrongly. We're gonna look for it. We're gonna find the clip. And then we'll share it with the world. There we go. Filter clips. Please tell me they still exist. All. Yes, yes, okay. Wait, we found it. We found it. Hold up. I'm gonna put it here. Enjoy, everyone. If you're interested in learning about Portuguese birds in rooms. Oh dear. You've been trying to catch you live to say hello. Oh my gosh, I appreciate it. It's been a long time. It has, it has. Life has changed, Twitch has changed, everything has changed. But what remains the same is everyone's appreciation of gaming, I feel. That was the peak of your career on Twitch. You doing life's been busy. It's okay, I did like, it took me... How long was that gap? I stopped streaming in 2022. And then I started streaming again on YouTube in October last year. So there was quite a few years where I just wasn't on Twitch or anything. And I just don't, I'm not feeling Twitch anymore. Genuinely. Like, YouTube feels more like the space I feel comfortable with. Mainly because they don't force features onto you. I mean, we say that. But that crown thing, I'm not gonna go into it again today. But like, that crown thing was so... Oh. Okay. You and DM... Oh, did you? When did you... Hold up. Sorry, I'm just gonna casually check. I might have done the thing where I like opened the message and then I forgot to get back to you. I don't see it. But I'm guessing it was years ago. Please tell me it was years ago. I will feel so bad if it was recently. Oh dear. But it's okay, I'm here. You caught me. Hello. I wasn't ignoring you on purpose. Oh dear. Yeah, there was a bit of a thing where, so my original Discord is technically still there. It's branded as my, like, not the gaming one, it was like a combined thing. But so I don't use that Discord anymore. I don't know if the link works. If it doesn't, let me know. But I've decided to condense my gaming stuff onto this one now. So I've left the old one just as it is. And yeah. So, starting fresh, keeping things simple. Like for me, back when I was on Twitch, right, there was that the slight ambition of trying to make this a career for myself. And I don't really want that anymore. It's like, I do this just for fun now. And yeah, like if anything comes out of it, I like will embrace it, but I'm not purposely trying to be like, oh, I need to get Twitch partner, I need to make this my full-time job and stuff, because I realized that like streaming full-time with a full-time schedule of how many days a week is not for me, and I actually don't think I'll be happy doing it. So I'm happy to have it as one of the things I do, and then like if it brings in any like extra income, that's a bonus, but I don't want it to be my job, basically. So you were No, I was not. I'll have to look for it. If you said 2022, that might have been a time where I just wasn't on Discord anymore, like I wasn't looking. So we have to see. I will check after stream. Oh dear. Backtracking a bit, but Jaffa cakes are apparently in the biscuit aisle at Coles. Oh! Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because it would be lumped together with the rich tea biscuits and the Tim Tams and the Tam Tims, and all of that. Okay, but yes, so we have our nature walk kind of going, like the first phase. People can actually start walking on it now. It will reach here as a first phase, and what I might do actually to smooth it out. Okay. So it will go in two directions. It will go... Let's do... here. Okay. That's very mature. You stream for fun and stuff. Then life does not allow it anymore, but you still check on Twitch, friends. Oh, that's lovely. If you remember who Kanashi is, like on my streams, they started streaming on Twitch, so that's been fun. But she always streams at a time that I can't catch her at, which is so annoying. But it's okay. I'm just happy that she has found like that little space to like enjoy games in. Oh my gosh. It's time for lunch. Yes, thank you, Humberto. We appreciate you. Nice to see you again. And to see you nice. Please check in on the birds in your room. And make sure that that doesn't happen again. Okay, what we're gonna do here is just a casual, like, downward spiral. There. So it will hit this area. And I'm wondering whether instead of a pedestrian path, I actually placed down, which one was it? This pedestrian street. Underneath. Ooh, this is very complicated in terms of making sure everything fits around stuff. Like, does that... Ooh, what's happening here? Okay, there we go. So we have this. I have to redo my path again. Sorry. Just a moment. Need to focus. We need to focus on this before I can look back at the chat. Oh my gosh. Oh, as you watched the clip. Yes, it was fun times back when Humberto streamed. It's nice to see that just streaming as a medium continues to exist. Even after the whole like pandemic and stuff. Because that was when I was streaming. So for a lot of people, they were doing it because there was nothing better to do. There wasn't better ways to socialize, so like just why not stream, right? But now people are still doing it. Even though technically you could be outside touching grass. Or marinating ribs. So that's nice to see. And then with everyone who has been like coming into the land of streaming, and then like seeing everyone kind of figure it out and all those things, it's nice that that still is a thing. And I feel like it's also it feels like a calmer place now. Because obviously when anything becomes a very widespread thing, right, you attract not just lovely people into their platform, but also not so lovely people. And that's what I felt Twitch was like for the longest time, and apparently still is, sometimes when I look at it. So, yeah, it's nice that there is a calm little space that exists for everyone to just, you know, connect over the fact that we just enjoy playing games. And in some instances, watch people scream when they run away from ostriches. I don't know what a Werimu actually is. Like, relative to real life. Is it an ostrich? Is it a cassowary? Is it a giant chicken? We will never know. Oh, I have these things again! Oh my gosh, okay. Do we remember back in Montai when I was doing this thing? I can't place it down on the path anymore though, which is a shame. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't overlap. Okay, so this doesn't work in the same way we did for Montai. But we have our sculptures again. Contemporary obelisk. Okay, I wish that was bigger. We've got contemporary sculptures, which also I wish was bigger. We've got a contemporary bench. See, so this is the benefit of the creator packs. Is we get all these little props. Oh, look at all of this. Glass shelter. Can I place this somewhere? Ooh, wait, I've got hedges. Tall boxwood hedge. Okay, I might want to use this. Oh, we've got like railings. Hold up. Short metal railing. Okay, this was actually perfect for what I was looking for. I need something that would stop people from falling off this cliff, essentially. I don't know how it's gonna work, given that it is on a slope, but... Oh no, actually it does work. Cassouary. See, and what is a cassouary? It sounds like a dish. Like, something that you'd serve at Thanksgiving, with sweet potatoes or something. I know that's a casserole, but still. Ooh, okay. Vanilla placements of stuff is not very fun. Maybe if I did this. Snapping? No. Snapping? No. Oh no, we don't have a... Oh wait, is it this? Curve. No. Place multiple. Nope. I do not know how we're gonna use fences in vanilla effectively. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Okay, everyone, we're just winging it when it comes to placing down offenses. I can't do much when it comes to precise placement. Just to stop people falling down. We can connect over your sunshine you bring to everyone. Nah, what sunshine? I do not know what we're talking about. Ancient type of bird. Oh, so like the dodo bird or something? Is that actually a thing? Or was that one of those made up things that's like, oh, this was supposedly a thing in the past, but it was actually not true. Oh, this tree is lovely. It's like a nice manicured tree. Okay, you know what? Just to stop people from falling down further, let's put a giant rock. Giant rocks, I'm sure, encourage people to reconsider their choices of path connections. Surely. There we go. Okay, don't fall down the cliff, everyone. Here as well. There's all of this. We're gonna place down some cultivated flower bushes. Okay. A cassouary casserole? Yeah, that. It is a real bird. They are very aggressive, but they are like extinct, right? Just to confirm, just in case I meet some on the train or something. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. So, you know how a few streams ago, I think it was on Montai actually, we were talking how public transport etiquette, where people do not give way to alighting passengers, right? So essentially, in summary, there's this whole thing where people apparently just don't know that they should stand at the side to allow people to exit in order to allow space for them to then enter. Some people like to just rush in, some people like to block the way, and then no one gets to move, the door closes, and everyone has a sad time, right? So I still encounter that a lot. Apparently it's a universal thing across the world based on everyone's reactions previously. But, so, I have this new strategy that I have employed when it comes to mitigating the trauma of irresponsible humans, right? Which is, and try this for yourself next time you find yourself in a similar situation. So, okay, you know a doorway, right? When it comes to the train. And then immediately next to the doorway, hopefully your train model has this. There is this handlebar. Let me find the train specifically that exists here. Door. Okay. Now, let's do this. Let's open this. Open image, new tab. Okay, because this strategy I feel like changes lives. Okay, so this is the train, the newest train that we have. So we see this, right? When you're trying to alight, obviously you'll stand here, trying to exit, right? Do we notice that this is grab bar here? So what usually happens is that there's a few situations where people try and barge in before you get to the light, right? A, they just enter right from the middle, right? So, I mean, you're standing there, so that's fine. But what some people do is they try and squeeze in from the sides. So, like this side and this side. And, yeah, I mean, you're only like this big, right, as a person. You can only kind of block off enough of the thing. So my passive-aggressive solution to irresponsible humans on public transport is, what I do now is when I notice that someone's going to try and barge in, because when the train stops, you have a bit of a window before the doors open and, like, people come in, right? You can see that they're trying to block the door already. So what I do now is I will stand in the middle, here, I will hold my arm across and hold this handlebar relative to whichever side looks like someone's trying to barge in. When the doors open, I will slowly walk out while still holding down the handlebar until I'm actually out of the train before I let go. And so far, I have successfully caused at least 3 people to look at me while I've alighted because they were trying to barge in. So I would say that strategy is successful. Please try it next time you're on a train and you're finding people are irresponsible. Because the satisfaction that I get from that glance from an irresponsible human being like, are you blocking the way? Makes my day every time. So, I don't know if this is useful for your context when it comes to transport, but try it out. Maybe you'll get punched in the face like me eventually. But at least we know that we lived our life gracefully and with good manners. And with some quiet determination to fight back against irresponsible behavior. I'll let you know 2 weeks from now if I get punched in the face. You'll hear about it. But no, that's actually the biggest reason why I don't dare to be confrontational about it. The whole thing about people blaring their videos on public transport is still something I don't have a solution to. And it's annoying. It is very annoying. Oh my gosh, someone was blaring their phone like in the bus queue 2 days ago. It was so loud. It was so loud. My gosh, the cow that is jumping over the moon can probably hear it. Love that this is how your assertiveness manifests. It's so annoying! Obviously it has to relate to trains, but like, I feel... Because I don't see anyone else trying to fight back, and I feel like this is my contribution to society, is to create this strategy. And the thing is, there is no way for them to fight around it, because no one's gonna bend under... Usually, like, I don't mean to generalize, right? But usually, the people who try and do it are, like... Let's say in later stages of life, but they're at that age where they can still kind of move fast when it benefits them, you know, right? So they will try and squeeze past you to get in, and I'm all for being considerate to those who are like more senior than you, right? But there's also it's a double, like, it works 2 ways. Like, you can't be rude to young people just because they're young, you know. But yeah, so they wouldn't exactly bend over underneath my arms just to, like, try and work around me. Trolling the trolls, blaring noise, we have quiet carriages. We don't have that here. And I don't think we ever will. It's just a thing. But yeah. Okay, sorry, so that was my little, whole, like, rant about public transport. Oh, dearie me. Strap yourselves in, by the way. It's only been an hour and 40 minutes. We're going for another... What time is it? 7:41. I would usually go until 9:30. So that's another hour and a half to go, everyone. Drink your water. Take your painkillers. There's more. There's more rants. Oh no, I can't place trees underneath the road. Okay, that's a limitation. Now, what we can do is try this concept, which I have seen in some places. So when they have under bridge areas, right, people tend to repurpose it as parks. So I want to see if we can place a basketball court or something underneath. Oh, we can. Are the lights causing any issues? Ooh, hold up. Oh, this is perfect. There we go. Solutions to wasted space. Now, my next question is, because this is a zoned area, can I do low density, Dragon Gate low density? What should I try? Let's try Southwest stores, boutiques, gas stations, motels, bars, travel. Okay, let's try this one, and we'll see if it creates a shop. Oh, it is! Okay, wait, it's working. It's working. Oh, apparently we don't have electricity. Okay, that makes sense. Because we don't have an actual connection to the road. Let's do a temporary solve on that. Just like that. At least to test the concept of whether this works. Okay. I just want to see people starting to walk in this new area. What's being built? Pelican biofuel. Oh, don't be a petrol station. That's literally the opposite of what we need. Okay, also wait, let's save. So Punderland 7-2. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick drink since we are almost 2 hours in. Please hydrate if you've been here the entire time and you haven't. Okay. Oh dear, we need to be building more houses. The homelessness thing is still a thing, unfortunately. How many people are homeless in this city? 468. Okay. I don't know if they will ever fix it or it's just a thing, but it's getting a bit annoying to me because it's like, no matter what you do in City Skylines 2, the homelessness thing doesn't solve itself. Pelican biofuel. Okay, I would prefer if there was no vehicle things. I don't think that is an option, even with our new creator types. Mixed housing. Because I'm not going to put housing at... No, don't drive here. No. Urban promenades mixed housing. With commercial space at the bottom. Okay. Small apartment buildings. Let me try the Japanese one. That one's not going to build because it's too tall. EU mixed housing. Can we pretend that people are not living under the bridge? Okay, you know what? It's fine. We won't have buildings under the bridge. We tried. Okay, but I like that how we have like our little nature walk. That's working. We'll work with that first. So that's phase 1, let's say, of Major Park. We've only worked on this one area. There's still so much we can do. But over here, I think what I will do is, because we have all of these cul-de-sacs, right, there's not much I can actually do with the road here. So this side will just be a pure narrow keyword pedestrian path. And it will just be full on just like this. So just a walled off thing. I will need ways for them to go underneath though, because the whole point of us removing the road like this is that there's easy ways to go down. Can this be done? Let's see. Okay, wait, maybe there's a solution to this. Nope. Where does it start? Oh no, this is gonna be annoying. Okay, let's start from here. So I know it's not exactly where it should be, but if I... And are you like too tall? Okay, you're a bit too tall. 11.25, right. And then we do like, I'll place you like this. Just a general slope. Don't do that, please, game. Welcome back, Azzy. Okay. 12%. Let's do 7%. So, sort of like this. Where you have a slope. Oh, it's actually quite... 10%. Okay. Uh-oh. Are we dropping out, people? I think we have a bit of an internet thing today. Did we just drop? I hope not. Hold up. Let me just check that my router's plugged in, to be sure. You're plugged in, okay. Okay. So if you happen to still be here, like, I'm just gonna check if we're still okay. I think we're not. Uh-oh. Tools. Stats. Can I see this? Okay. I think it has semi-recovered. It's gone up to yellow and... Okay, now we're back to green. Hopefully we're back, everyone. I think that one is definitely just a temporary internet thing. Okay, we should be back. Looks smooth. Hello, welcome back. Okay, I don't know when we cut out, but basically I was putting down this walkway thing. Well, I'm glad that generally speaking, the internet and the streams and stuff has been stable for the last few weeks. So a temporary dropout I will accept. Okay. Yes, we are here. We're fine. We have a pedestrian path thing now. That's what you missed. Nothing much. No fancy solutions to life's inconsiderate problems in this one. Okay, I'm just gonna do a temporary one just so that people have connections. So we're gonna do this. Okay, it's terrible, but at least people can walk for now. Right. So the idea is if we do more of these, it will eventually like link up to this side and then we'll furnish the park. Okay, I do want a bit of a break from working on the sunken park though. Let's go over to what do we call it? Live Daughters. To see what things we shall do. So what was the conclusion of the poll? We had okay, so it was 93% minus Azzy's vote for yes, we should add a tram to Live Daughters. So let's see where we can add a tram. I think what I will do for a start, right, is that vehicle-wise, I know we want it to be pedestrian-free and pedestrian-friendly and stuff, but there still should be a way to access the roads here. So I will turn this into a... And this is where we don't have it in City Skylines 2, but in City Skylines 1, there were these, like, paved paths. So they weren't actual, what do we call it? Like, roads. You know what? Actually, no. Okay, until City Skylines has that, I'm not going to do that. Because I don't like the idea of it being an actual road in this area. What we can do is think of how we integrate a tram into this area. Which is actually quite squeezy. Okay, so considerations here are that you would want a tram to stop as close to the connection points as possible, right? So ideally, if it was purely based on the route that we already have, right, I would be putting it here because this is just a straight line and life gets easier. But this becomes a very useless stop because no one's gonna stop here and then want to walk across here to connect. So what I would want to do is, although I quite like this park, it's okay, we'll find a way to make it pleasant again. Okay, get rid of some of this. We are gonna try and squeeze in our tram stop over here. Okay, so let me place down, and you might be wondering why is it a pedestrian street. Also we have to... Okay, you know what? Let's just move this for now. Why a pedestrian street, you might ask? It's because when you use trams in this game, the actual tracks... Let me show you. This track here... This is the double tram track that exists in the game. I don't like it because when you put a tram stop here, there's barely any space for people to stand next to it, I feel. So, I don't know. Although, okay, wait. We did find that surfaces are an option in this, in vanilla City Skylines, which I was surprised to find out. So, one option we could do is, if I place this down, like this, and then, next to this, we do a tiled surface, right, that goes, let's say this far. Like this. Okay, so that becomes like a fake platform. And I hope people will crowd along here, but let's just keep going with it first. Do pavement paths show? Okay. So, if that does show, then we can place this down like this to connect the tram situation. with... Why are you doing that? Why are we creating a bridge? That's very weird. Okay, maybe if I try it from here. Why are you creating a bridge? Why are you creating a bridge? That makes no sense. What if I do it this way? Something is off in this specific path that is creating that. It's okay, so we'll go with one side, and then we'll pretend that the other side is somehow connected. Okay, so in theory, when we have this stop... Oh, this is really gonna test what can be done in vanilla versus modded. Let me place down the... What's the difference? EU, tram stop, NA, transport... transport? Tram spot. Oh my gosh. Okay. Place this and this. Ooh, another consideration is that there has to be a way to cross over to the other side of the tram track. Which I've not considered. Okay, so... Sunken idea... Okay, so we're trying to sink it underneath what is the existing pathway thing. I will rebuild it. Oh, that's wrong. I will rebuild the path to be like a bridge so that it could technically go underneath it. Please let me place this properly. And I feel like in the real world, this would be too steep, but this is not the real world. So we will exercise liberty when it comes to this. Also, let's end the poll, since we've decided that we're working on it. Thank you to everyone who voted. Okay. So, if I place it like this, and I want to see how we connect the pedestrian path over here. Oh, it kind of does its own thing. Oh, okay, wait, no, that doesn't work. Oh, no, it doesn't oh. I thought we had a solution, but apparently not. Okay. I hope this works. I don't know if it will. But I'm gonna raise it to as low as it can go. Click here. Please cross. Okay, it's crossed, it's crossed. The concept works, it's just, will it look ugly? I think it's fine, as long as I raise everything around it to be a similar height. It's just so weird that the tram stops like that. It's like a giant curve. Or like a giant arc. Because it's not even flat. Okay, am I overcomplicating it? Maybe let's say that our Sims that exist in this city are responsible, sensible people who know when trams go by and will actually wait. Or we can say that the city somehow has a system in place where when trams go by, there's a traffic light system or something where people will stop. Because in that case, then I don't feel so worried about implementing my tram in this manner. Okay, what I will do is... Oh, but that's a one-way, right? Can I do a double upgrade? No. Okay. This is a real test of, did I leave enough space to do what I need to do? I don't think I did, unfortunately. It's so close to being just enough space to squeeze in a tram track. Can trams go on alleys? Okay, it's also not enough space, so there's no point. What I could do is move this a little bit. Oh no, that's a problem. Let's hope that that cleared. Oh yes, yes, yes. There is just enough space now for the tram track to squeeze through. Lovely. Okay. Problem solved. Nice. And then we just need to have it connect from this side. So if I bring this a bit further, like this. Okay. And it might be a case of, I know we originally had this like giant V shape, right? It might be a case of the V has to stop halfway. Which if I do this over here. Ugh. I hope that's like close enough to a 90 degree. So if I delete the high street. Why is that the high street? Delete this as well. Bring this out. Okay, so the V shape shall now stop at this point. And then here it becomes a 90 degree. I think that just makes it easier for everything. Oh, and this one can actually be extended. If I replace this, please. So easy ways of doing minor adjustments to your roads is to use the replace tool without snapping. I find that way you can adjust it a bit at a time and then like bring it up eventually. Okay. That's slightly off. So see, switching off snapping, placing this. Okay, that should be generally settled. Okay. Then we've got this whole tram situation, which is a bit dangerous, not gonna lie. But once again, responsible people who live in this city, who would know when a tram is coming and then like just stop. And give way to trams. Okay, if I make it visible as well that you can see things going, that should be fine. Okay, oh our tram line's not actually straight. There. Okay. And what was this surface? I think I just used the first one, right? How much space was that? We're just asking all the questions now. Making sure making sure that we're getting this right. Okay. That is the tram stop. Actually, that's too big now. There you go. Ta-da! Okay, now I want to figure out how we can cross a tram track. I feel like this is always the problem when I try... Yeah, see? It doesn't really like crossing with pedestrian paths. How shall we fix this? Welcome back, Granny. We are trying to add a tram track to Live Daughter's Business Park. And unfortunately, despite only creating this last stream, I did not factor that into the design. So now we're kind of working around it. But I think it's actually not that bad. Like, we seem to have a solution. There we go. And we'll just do this. Okay, I can delete this now as well. Because all we need to do now is connect up a bridge. The problem is, and this is what I'm gonna find with trams a lot, is that the stations are so small that bridges are just too steep. So for example, if I did this, right, for this distance, and I tried to do a bridge, let's say we started it from here, The bridge would need to be like this tall at least to cross. And so for the amount of space we have, because I still need to place a park, right? It's not gonna let me cross it. Like, as you can see. So, for normal trains and subways, I think the bridge situation would have been okay. But we are limited because of, like, the fact that it's a tram. Which is... When you did not plan for a tram to exist in this neighborhood is a problem. And in fairness, considering this is like the newest district we did and it's a mixed use thing, I should have thought about that. So we won't make this mistake again for the next place. Even if we don't put a tram, we will at least plan for it to have space. Also, I'm going to try and put back the giant park thing now. Community City Park. Oh, it needs even more space. Okay. If you say so. Oh no, it's not enough space. Not good, everyone. Okay, all of this needs to change now. So we're placing down the park first, and then I will adjust that angle to accommodate this new layout that we have. Inclines on bridges are tricky. Yes, especially when this is not modded and you can't do anything about it. But I feel like that's what will give us new solutions to problems. As opposed to just being like, oh, mods can solve it. At least that's what I'm telling myself. As we struggle our way through. Okay, so that's the new slanted layout that we have. Okay. Ta-da! So not as seamless as that V shape that we had originally, but more practical. The tram track can now go through... Ooh, I wonder if we have shelters as props. Other than the one we saw earlier. Which was the carport. Is there a one-sided one? Pergola small double. There is this. Do I really want to be placing it down one by one at every tram stop? I'm not sure. Because the thing is, once I've placed it down, I can't actually adjust it anymore. And so I don't know if I want to commit to that. Let's say we do... Okay, because this is the key... Oh. This is a key station. So I will leave that option available. I don't want to do it now. It's going to take up too much of my brain. And there's not much left, honestly. I feel like this is a good time to bring up the whole thing about... let's recap about my experience at the market last week. Was it last week? 2 weeks ago? Because my brain has been fried since then. Okay, so my recap. We're trying to build a like home decor craft business around original product designs and stuff. So every so often, at least back when I was doing my full-time job, right? I don't know how I balance this, but when I was doing my full-time job, I was trying my best to also do pop-up markets at the same time. So I'll do like Monday to Friday, 9 to 6. And then after work, just go over to my studio and just do a bit of work for the evening and then go home. And then some weekends, I'll just be like, what's this? Oh, this is cool. Like some weekends, I'll be doing markets as well. Ooh, interesting. Okay, yeah, so there was all of that. And then when I like transitioned to doing freelance work, and with experience of doing markets and stuff, you start to be more selective. Because over time, you start to learn about how different markets work and which ones are worth doing. Because a lot of the time when you do a market and you're not being selective about it, you spend 60 to 80% of the time just sitting around waiting for stuff to happen. And that is just the nature of a market, right? So it's not like I'm saying that, oh, I must have... activity all the time, but you will start to learn which markets are more just people don't specifically go in knowing that that market is there. You know, it's more like oh, there happens to be a market while I'm at the shopping mall, let's just browse a bit and then bye bye. So it's not like its own event, if you will. Right, so over time, once I got used to doing some markets, I started being more selective about it, and I started choosing markets that felt more like a special event. Like, you would know that people go there because of that market, not because, oh, it happens to be there when I'm around, let's take a look. And so last year, when I transitioned to freelance work, right, I did fewer markets, but I felt they were more high value in terms of impact that they brought, like for me, as someone who's just starting out. So last year, I did this market event thing that was fully focused on craft workshops. So the entire market featured, how many was it? I think 10, 13? Can't remember. Quite a few, let's say. Different artists and stuff, and like different people doing their art. And everyone was there to run workshops live. And funny enough, it was actually at the airport. So you know that giant waterfall thing that I always talk about? It's a shopping mall that people go to just like normally, right? And so there is a little event space that they have. And so for that like weekend, they turned it into a, if you want to try and do a workshop, sign up and then come down and then you can do it on the spot. So you don't like, it's almost like a gathering of so many different workshops. So you can just try and like try whatever craft you want to do, you know, you can choose from like that wide selection. I really enjoyed the concept of that. I felt like it was such a cool experience as well, because back then I didn't really know about like running workshops and stuff, and I wasn't sure if I could do it. But that gave me a bit of confidence to be like, oh, okay, actually, I can do workshops. And so then for the rest of the year, I started to focus on those sorts of events, right? So when I do a workshop, which flower is that? I've lost the flower, there we go. When I started looking for other markets for the year, I kind of focused on doing those sorts of things as well. So there was another market that was hosted at the Arts Museum, or at least the temporary art museum that has become the permanent art museum in Singapore, where it was again like lots of different workshops and stuff happening, and you come and attend like different stuff. So that went well as well. But then, since then, I've been kind of focused on my freelance work and also creating new designs. So I kind of stopped doing markets for a bit, right? So the last time I did a market before the one that just happened recently was 6 months ago, I think. Was it 6 months ago? More than 6 months ago, actually, like 9 months ago. Before, okay, let's say 8 to 9 months. But yeah, so I was in that state of just like focusing on other things in life, like making sure that my freelance work was going fine, and then like creating new designs so that I had more things to offer. And so when I came across this event, which was like it's part of the month-long, they don't really call it Pride here, it's called Pink Fest. So it is celebrating like freedom to love and stuff. But yeah, so they have this market that is kind of like friendly for that, right? And I decided to sign up for it because I felt like, okay, you know what? It feels like the right kind of space that I wanted to like do a market in. And I have done a market with this organizer before. I really like how they actually do things. It's just that their normal market, that the location that they're normally at, is not really suitable for me because it's at a beach. It's outdoors at a beach, and it just doesn't suit my like home decor stuff. You don't go to a beach being like, yes, let's do a craft workshop, you know? So yeah, I ran into the issue previously, but they were holding this at this like this specific event that I took part in was being held at a converted school that has become like a lifestyle hub. So they turned it into just like a collection of flagship fancy local brands, restaurants, things like that. It was like, it's the school campus. They just turned it into like that whole thing. And their school hall has become an event space. It's called New Baru, which if you translate it, literally means new. But yeah, so that was the event space and stuff. And so after 9 months of not doing markets and things, I kind of forgot a bit about what markets are about, in a sense of like the context for where I'm at with all my freelance stuff and things is that honestly, I feel like I'm in a very unstable place financially when it comes to all of the things. Last year, I had like contract signed where it was a retainer arrangement for a year. So it's like for that year, I didn't worry so much about like, oh, okay, this month I can't cover my rent, like stuff like that, right? But this year, while intentions have been there to like do things, the like discussions and the actual moving forward on ideas has been quite slow. Things keep getting pushed back, and so there's been quite a few months where I was supposed or I thought that there would be a commitment for work that turned out to like just get pushed back, and so that month became empty. And it was a situation where, like, you know, once that happens, it starts to affect your ability to like have a stable stable income, because once you miss a project, it's not just the, oh, it's okay, we'll just work on it 2 months from now, right? It's that I've wasted a month that I could have spent working on a different project if it wasn't like, if we didn't agree to it earlier, you know? And I don't blame at all like the other people involved in these projects, because to be fair, as the person like offering the services, right, I have a responsibility to make sure these follow through as well. But it's just the circumstances meant that this happened, right? But so this year has been very up and down when it comes to like stability in that sense. And so, like right around the time that I applied for this market, I was finishing up my new designs, right, for my home decor stuff. So I felt like I had capacity to really look into this and being like, okay, we have our new products now. Now let's try and focus on marketing and trying to push. I should actually just say it. My like that home decor business thing is called Mornington House, right? Just so I don't have to keep saying home decor business. So like I felt like Mornington House has been something that I just gently push every so often to try and make it work, right? But I felt like this was the time and the year where I really had to make it work. And because of the circumstances of the freelance thing, I did have like extra time to do it. So I was like, okay, we've come out with new designs. Now we need to make like marketing. We need to push visibility and make sure people know that this exists. And try and get us to a place where it covers itself. Because up till now, I've been using my freelance income to cover the costs of trying to build up this business, right? So there's the rent of the studio, and then there's all of the costs that comes into materials and stuff, and all the tools that are needed. So if you balance the books, it is very much in one direction, which is the wrong direction at the moment. But so this market came around that time where like I was in that phase of, let's make sure that this is generating an income, right? Like we need to make sure that we start heading in the right direction in that regard. And so I started to like feel very stressed about the fact that like this needed to work. And so when I started marketing it, right, we had this like what I did for this market is I'm in this in-between phase now where I do like a hybrid arrangement. So I do both selling of whatever I've already made, as well as run workshops at the side, right? And like I love this organizer because they accommodate for it. So I can have like the front of my space as the selling side, and then behind me they gave me a table and I could do like workshops and stuff. But yeah, so for this market, as part of the marketing, what I did, market and marketing, what fun. What I did was I posted like a sign up thing. So I started putting posts on Instagram and then calling people to be like, oh, if you want to attend, sign up here, click on this link. Which is what I did for like a market last year. And that one worked very well. Like people were signing up. So many people said they found me because of the posts I did for that lead up to the event. And so I thought that like, oh, okay, I guess this is just how it works. As long as you post, people will see it, people will sign up, right? Not this round. Because I started posting 2 weeks before the event, right? And it was my first time really trying to be consistent with posting as well. So it was really like three times a week, kept posting about it. I had a whole series of things like that I was posting, and I'm actually quite happy that I followed through on that. But even after all that, and after spending money to boost the posts on Instagram as well, come 2 days before the event, 0 signups. And by that point, I'd spent like $100 or so, like just boosting things on Instagram. And so when you're in that space of, oh no, finances are not stable. I need this to work. This is the first time I'm actually putting in effort to try and market consistently. And then you see the impact of like 0 signups. You start to feel a bit like, oh, what is happening here? What have I done wrong, you know? Like, am I going to, is this where I just start to consider like not doing this anymore? And so there was all of that, and this was around the time that I actually started getting to know my like neighbor at the studio. It's kind of funny because we never talked until like a few weeks ago. But since then, it's like I love going to the studio now because they are just there and we'll just chat about creative things. We'll just have like dinner and like talk about random things. And he was almost like a sounding board because at that point, I felt so like, what do I do? Thank you, Rai. Come to Australia and we'll sign up to your workshops. You know, I'm actually trying to figure out how to do shipping to Australia properly because it's so expensive. Like, the cheapest shipping I can find to ship my things over is $38, which I feel is not sustainable. But yeah, okay, so, like, going back to the story, 2 days before the event, no one has signed up for the workshop. I was stressed, and I kind of sent, like, a post on Instagram being like, I'm eating nuggets because I'm stressed, what should I do? Like, is it that I'm pricing it wrong? Am I offering something wrong? I had a few hypotheses. Hi Didi, sorry, in the middle of storytelling. Let me tell you about my stress time 2 weeks ago. Well, hope you're well. But yeah, so I have a few hypotheses now that I have had time to like think about it. And actually in the moment I did feel about it as well. I think why the previous event where people were signing up a lot went the way it did was that this time round I wanted to focus on more accessible, affordable options, right? So what I did was focus purely on coasters and keychains and stuff. Previously what I did was, it was actually a lamp where you attend the workshop to craft the base of the lamp, right? And then you just add on the lamp on top and that's your product. And I think, on reflection, that sort of thing looks more like novel. There is a novelty that coasters and stuff don't have. As much as you can have fun like pouring and learning about the material and like creating stuff, I don't think it grabs attention the same way. And so I think because of that, like, signups didn't like really work as well. It's just also the nature of business. Sometimes signups work, sometimes signups don't. But because I was so stressed about having to make an income from it, I think I what's the word for it? Like, I focused too much on it being like, oh, I've done something wrong, you know? And so I was talking to my neighbor about it during that time, being like, okay, like, I feel a bit about the whole thing. And then he just reminded me to be like, even if the signups don't go well and stuff, like, don't forget that there's so much more to a market than just the idea of earning back whatever you paid for it. Because to attend markets like this, right, you have to pay a booth fee. And actually, this is one of my critiques about any kind of creative market, is that, like, the organizers and the landlords get a secure rice bowl, but the people who are actually the ones that add value to your workshops, to your event, which is the people boothing, don't know what they're gonna earn until the end of the weekend based on how customers, like, perform. So they start off on the back foot straight away because they've had to pay hundreds of dollars to attend that weekend. And the landlords can just go home and be like, just be happy about like, oh, I've earned my rent for the month. Like, have fun, and it's secure, like, it's guaranteed income, but not for the boothers. So that's my critique about, like, markets in general. But anyway, that's beside the point. Markets are more than that, you know? It's also about considering that you get to meet new people, not just customers, not just people who are like attending the market, but also fellow creatives who are also boothing at the event. You get to learn about their story, you get to spend time with them, you get to hear their motivations of like why I'm running this business, why I started this project and stuff. You get to know and connect with so many like-minded people who bring this sort of energy to, like, let's be honest, I know Granny said, like, Singapore sounds so cool with so many art spaces, right? But there is this impression in Singapore that arts is just not appreciated, you know? And so, like when you're in this space where it feels like generally the society doesn't really care about art, it's nice to have that energy to know that, hey, fellow creators exist here in this country. There are people trying to work it out as well, and it's nice to know that I'm not alone. And attending a market, like, brings you so much of that. And so once he said all of that, something clicked in my head. Is like, okay, you know what? Yes, like, I knew this actually, but because I was so worked up about having to make this work financially, I kind of put so much pressure on it needing to be a transactional thing of like, oh, profit must cover expenses, that sort of thing. And obviously it needs to, because that's the nature of a business, but like, it took away from the excitement and the potential of it still being a positive experience if it didn't cover its own costs. But that little pep talk, and when everyone started replying on, like, to my Instagram story, it kind of helped me shift away from the whole, okay, yes, we are stressed about finances. Obviously, this is not a good place to be in when it comes to, like, income and stuff, but don't let that take away from the experience, which is that it can still be a positive one. And the tail, what's the word for it? Like, things may not show its impact in the moment, but the tail off of, like, in a few years' time, that experience could actually lead you to more opportunities. I feel like that's what markets can do. I actually had this specifically when I did, like, my freelance work with MasterChef, right? Which was that the actual position was essentially an internship, like, because the official term was production assistant, right? And it was an internship ranked role, meaning that in terms of the job level, it was an intern role. So I was not paid much to work on that show. Like, you for the number of hours I was there, it does not add up at all. But I wanted to do that because I've always, like, I watched that show, that specific version of MasterChef, like the local one, right? And I always wanted to be, like, part of that production and just learn and see and get to know how a show like that runs. And so I was like, I will take this up even if it's, like, something that's maybe not as well paid as I would feel it should be. And since then, like, a lot of my freelance work has come from that. Because I got to know people on the show, they saw that I was doing videography and they felt like, okay, you know what, let's give him a chance. And so, like, some of my clients came from that. And it's, what, a few years from now? And it's still continuing to give me, like, value from that experience. So even though in the moment, it did not, like, make sense financially, in the long run, it did work out. And I feel like, you know, markets are that. That's what I mean. Would be a lot cheaper if someone sent an invoice with shipping included on it. Sorry, I've been dragging my feet on that one. I've been focused on other stuff, I'll get to it. You have to factor in networking as a positive dose, both artistically and long-term profitability. Yeah, so it's the long-term thing that I think I lost track of when I was so focused on, like, this needs to work in the moment, you know? There is a concept that, like, I follow these business coaches because I listen to their podcast. It used to be called Wandering Aimfully. It's changed now. But they always talk about this concept of scarcity versus abundance when it comes to like, your frame of mind. So yes, in the moment, you may actually be in a position of scarcity, right? But if you also have a mindset of scarcity, that actually makes you start to operate from a point of fear. It's like, oh, there is not enough this, there is not enough that. So all your actions become scrambling to, like, get out of that, you know? Whereas abundance, it's like, yes, things may not be the way it is, but look at this. Like, look at the opportunities that you can get from something like this. And I feel definitely, in the moment of stress and stuff, I was operating from a place of scarcity, seeing that things are not enough, as opposed to, let's look at the positives of opportunities and stuff. And so that, like, those conversations with everyone around, and thank you, because, like, some of you were also the ones that, like, chatted with me after that when I was stressed. I think it helped me so much with reframing, like, where things were at. And so, at least thankfully, when I attended the market, I was in that better frame of mind. And lo and behold, the night before, someone actually did sign up for the workshop. So that was lovely. So, like, the weekend happened. And wow, am I so glad that everyone said that to me, because the weekend actually turned out quite good in terms of just getting to interact with people. And I think one of the most satisfying things, because for my products, they are physical products. You feel them and experience them by actually like holding them and stuff in person. And a market is the perfect place to allow people to see the work that you've put into a physical good rather than like a video or picture. And so many people were interacting with stuff. They like kind of were willing to, not even just willing to, they were enthusiastic about hearing my story of like why I did all these things and created the things that I did. That sentence was just a ramble of like the same point twice. But yeah, and after so many months of just like hiding in my little hole of product development and like just doing my own thing, and not a critique to anyone around me, but a lot of like the key people in my life aren't exactly creative people, so you don't get that sense of energy that you can bounce off other people to be like, okay, this is how it actually feels as the creative in this situation, right? And so like when you're in that space, you sort of forget that actually people are willing to appreciate the stuff you do. And when I was at that market, it was almost like a relief to know that people are out there who actually are willing to appreciate what you do. And it's not just a matter of lowest common denominator. People are only there to buy whatever's the cheapest, you know? Like, so many people I spoke to on that weekend had like no issue about, in fact, okay, it's not even so many people, it's everyone who attended that weekend, that market, had no issues about the positioning of my products. And because one of my biggest concerns was like, am I pricing things too high? I have this problem where I just do not trust myself to be like, price it what you feel is worth, because I'm like, who's gonna buy it, you know? And yeah, the people around me are definitely more practical minded, and so I do feel like sometimes the energy is like, yeah, no one's gonna buy it. Like, price it lower sometimes. Not a critique, it's just like, that's just the benefit of having multiple perspectives, right? But yeah, so people there were just like, yeah, that makes sense. In fact, some people will be like, okay, you're not pricing high enough actually. Like, I'd pay more for that after hearing your story. And hearing that makes me feel like a sense of relief to be like, even in a country where it feels like sometimes art is not appreciated, there are people out there who like do appreciate what you're doing and are willing to listen to you and like are willing to support what you're doing, even if it doesn't sound rational or like the usual safe route of, oh, be a doctor, be this, go to school. So that was very like very heartwarming and very humbling almost, to be like, not humbling, but like that sense of like, oh, it's nice. Like, I feel a sense of relief. Also, creative people are their own worst. Yes, yeah. So I was so worried about like, oh, is what I'm doing like even worth my time? Like, should I be doing a more sensible thing in life and actually just doing what everyone else does, earning a stable income and all of that? But yeah, so that whole market happened. There were actually quite a few people who decided to do workshops on the spot. So, like, that was good. And I think there was a good balance of people who wanted to do workshops, but also leaving me enough time to actually network with people. Because when you do a workshop, you can't talk to people anymore. Like, you're focused on that, right? And, like, while I am supported by, like, key family members and stuff around me who help me during markets, ultimately, this is still a one-person business. So it's like, when my attention is diverted, I can't like sell my story anymore. I can't share like what I'm doing. So there's that balance. I feel like for this market, it was a good balance of enough time to run workshops, but also enough time to get to know people and like chat and stuff. So overall, I feel like this was a really lovely experience. And in fact, like, because this is a yearly thing, I probably would do this market again every year. It was one of my favorite experiences of all the markets I've done. So, yeah. That was the whole kind of like ups and downs of the last 2 weeks. And I don't remember if I mentioned. Oh no, okay, I didn't mention it because I didn't even stream. There we go. But yeah, that's why I was kind of away for 2 weeks. I was kind of in that space. I wish I could go to your markets. I love everything. Thank you, Rai. I appreciate it. We'll bring it to you. I'll set up in your room. Like, when you're streaming, wherever your that armchair thing is, I'll just set up there and I'll sit there. I'll just watch you stream. How about that? Yeah, but so that's sort of where things are at right now. It's that, like, the market's over. I really felt like that was a lovely experience. But like, there is still that uncertainty of what comes next, you know? Like, my work hasn't become any more stable. Like, I have projects coming in, but they're not going to be covering my rent. My, like, Mornington house isn't moving enough to cover its own costs either. And so I'm still in that space of like, ooh, what do we do? Like, you know how with projects, there's always this phase of until, like, it actually starts moving. You're in that phase of you put in so much effort, and then it's not actually generating the results at the moment. So you have that in-between phase where it's a bit weird, like, you don't see the results of what you've put in. I'm in that space. And yeah, I don't know. It's like, what do we do to earn money in that sense? And I never like talking about money and stuff as like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. Because sometimes it feels very superficial. Like, oh, money this, money that. But this one's almost more like a reality thing of like I'm not trying to make excess money. I'm not trying to, like, make things a transactional thing. I just need to survive. And right now, I don't know how to balance, like, the things. So, yeah, I don't know. I hope it figures itself out sooner rather than later. But there is that interesting in-between phase that I'm currently in that, you know, it's interesting when you try and do something like this to be in. Also, thank you to everyone who's like here listening to the rambles. I don't know how long we went on for. I don't know what we were doing in the meantime. We somehow have a tram station, but I just felt like, yeah, just sharing that that's where I was at for the last few weeks, because I'm sure for a lot of you, like, you find the things that I do as something that you are, like, interesting enough that you stay. And so why not just share the context behind, like, stuff that I do, you know? And where else do we get a space to actually just ramble than on a stream when we're just here for hours? Oh dear me. You'll get there, it takes time, thank you. Like a backseat driver. No, Sam. It will be a backseat passenger just watching things happen. No, I'll be there as the peanut gallery. I'll just, like, blare sound effects. And in fact, Benny, if you're still here, one day you need to do that. Just sit on the armchair with a, like, random instrument for sound effects. We all need to earn money. I know. Can hold the green screen. Oh my gosh, I just saw that. Maybe, you know, maybe that's the key to why Rise green screen isn't working out, is that I'm not holding it. What you create is more than just items. You create a safe space to feel cozy. Your designs are... Thank you, Ezzy. I appreciate that. No one's actually said that about the designs I make. So that's nice to know. Thank you. Yeah, I think, like, if I assess, like, what I'm doing and stuff, deep down, I do know that what I bring is something interesting and of value and stuff. And it's like, if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't be doing it, you know? But it's just, like, when it comes to life, you do need to have it sustain yourself, right? And in that context, because a lot of times in society, you are assessed on your ability to, like, you know, how much you earn, how quickly you find success. In that regard, if I'm assessing myself on that level, I'm failing big time. But you know what? When I'm in the right mindset, I remember that doesn't matter. Hello, silly goober. I randomly clicked on this for background noise, but wow, the most dramatic background noise you could actually choose that is somehow not just like screaming and stuff. Thank you though, I appreciate it. Do you usually play City Skylines too? How did you find this so-called background noise that has now become the forefront of your evening? Oh dear. Yeah, okay, so if you were here for the actual background noise, what we are building is a city in City Skylines 2. I'm currently working on integrating a tram network into this mixed use area, which I did not cater to for trams. Okay, but yeah, so that's where we're at. I don't know, like, has anyone done, or is anyone in that place as well where it's like they're trying to do their own thing? Or have you been in such a place? Like, because it's that in between. I think once you find a formula that works and you can sustain yourself, the stress becomes less worrisome. Like, obviously, you'll still have the natural stress of creative progression, right? Where you start to worry about the next thing. But I feel like it's the survivability of it that is like one of the worst parts of trying to start something up. Is the, will I still be doing this a year from now? Can I afford to be doing this? You're playing City Skylines 1. Oh, lovely. City Skylines 1 is a great game as well. Like, it's the reason why we're here. Because 10 years ago, when I started playing City Skylines 1, I could not stop. Oh dear. Yeah, so, like, since the market, what I've been doing is, like, so I had the designs I was working on, right? But right now, the only ones I've launched were the essential, like, coasters and stuff that I used for that market. But there are still some that are, like, 90% complete that aren't actually coasters. And I do feel, like, based on, like, you know, when you have hunches and gut feelings, I do feel one of the reasons it's a bit slow for me right now is that my entire product range is static flatware, like coasters and trays, and I feel like there's only so much of an appeal to products like that when it comes to a business like purchasing decision. But the new products I'm gonna launch soon are actually more of like this is the term that my lovely neighbor at the studio has decided to keep using. Oh, he was talking to me about it 2 days ago, and then he kept saying this word to the point that I'm like, I'm buying one of those counters that you press to count how many times you say it because you've said it that much. He says that my products should be seen as sculptural forms as opposed to home decor. Because people actually appreciate the fact that it is a design and a form more so than a function, you know? And so, I do feel like my new ones that are coming out are going to be more of that. It's like functional sculptures, where there's like a novelty to the design. And I say novelty loosely, it's like a lot of it's still minimalist and stuff, but there's at least like something design related, but hidden within it is also function. So I've got like some hidden storage containers that are based on like a very nostalgic like snack in Singapore that I'm hoping to like bring out. And then yesterday I was working on the final prototype of my like this like desk clock that, do I have a picture of it? Let me find it just so that we know. I'll show just the clock. Okay. I hope that shows without... Oh my gosh, wait. Sorry, once again, we're on like temporary computer. Does that show? Okay, it does. So the one that's like mint green. Oh, actually the prototype of the other one's there, so you can kind of see it. But so, the one with the black arms is actually the prototype I was working on yesterday. So it's 90% there. I need to change something when it comes to the mold. But that's the desk clock that I've been working on. The original design was supposed to be the first one on the left with the black body. That was 3D printed. The other two were actually casted out like my usual products. So they actually worked out. The original idea is that, because I have an interest in photography, right? So I created this form to represent almost like cameras and photos capturing a moment in time, and therefore that camera body looking shape with the clock represents that to me. Unfortunately, that giant clock, the one with the rectangle shape instead, right, was a bit too far of a stretch for my limited skills at the time. So I couldn't get it to work, unfortunately. It was too much material to use to prototype. And for someone who wasn't like in a stable financial place, every time I wasted material, it was like, oh, I can't keep affording this. So I kind of pivoted to a smaller design first. My long-term goal is still to have that rectangle version because to me, that's what the story is. It's that a camera captures a moment in time. But for now, a square camera that doesn't even look like a camera will do. Oh dear. But yeah, so like that's what I'm currently working in. And I feel like once those are moving, there will be at least more variety for me to go to people and be like, hey, it's not just coasters. It was on your recommended. Oh, okay, I see. Thank you, YouTube, for recommending this ramble. Most people assess you on the product you create. Have faith. Your creations and you are true. I hope so, Granny. I think it's just the pressure of, like, you know, making it work. Because I started on this journey 4 years ago. The first time I ever poured a candle was back when I streamed on Twitch. I have the footage of it on this exact computer, actually. You know what? Let's find it. We've rambled enough. Like, we've gone on a complete tangent. Let me save as well while we're here. Since we've gone on this tangent. Right, sorry for those of you who are here for City Skylines. We'll get back to it eventually. Okay, where is it? First candle footage. Oh my gosh, and you can see my face in this one. Okay. I don't think there's sound. When you're stuck in... Oh! Look at it! It's 21st of February. Hello? So this was me making my first candle on stream. Okay, nothing spilling. I will update you on candle. Again, here's a final look at candle. I still have it somewhere, actually. Minus the bubble that has formed there. Whoopsies. It has solidified, and it does smell pretty good. So, when was this? Oh my gosh, let's not do the present day thing. That was kind of embarrassing. 21st of February. So that was around the time that I started on this whole journey of like, let's try and make this a thing, right? So 4 years, right? And 4 years in, you start to worry about the whole like, at what point am I going to be told like, go and get a proper job, you know? So, I hope we'll get there. I believe we will. It's just that, like, it would be nice if it happened a bit quicker. Oh dear. Wait, the green one. Which one, Granny? The rectangular one, or... Because you could argue that two of them are green, depending on your definition of green. But yeah, so if you're wondering, that's what happens outside of streams, is that I'm trying to, like, resuscitate my freelance work and my Mornington house. Oh dear. Oh, actually, okay, wait. We have an ability to do an underground part here. Let's try and do that. Sorry, I got distracted and I didn't realize. So, if we delete this and fix this. There. Okay. The square one. Okay, that's good. Okay, because that is the one that I'm working on. Like, that will be the first one. That was yesterday's job, so... You have a proper job. But the job's not bringing in a proper income. That's my concern. Like, I don't need to be a millionaire. I just want to be able to cover rent and my monthly expenses without feeling like I'm about to collapse. Or in need of help. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. As he likes the green one too. Okay, lovely, lovely. I have to make that work then. Just because your job doesn't conform to normal 9 to 5 doesn't mean you don't have a normal job. I know, Miss Steve, it's more I can't sustain myself with my current work. And I know it's like, at some point, it's not what I'm doing that's the problem, it's that I haven't, like, it's not, the results haven't caught up to the effort I put in. But it's still like, you know? Sorry, I'm not trying to be that person that's like... You're deflecting kind words. I appreciate what everyone is saying. I think it's just because I'm in that place of, oh, I'm worried about it. So I'm not trying to argue against anything. It's just, yeah. But thank you, I appreciate it. Oh dear, how do we go from City Skylines to just like talking about the life and times of my income? Deary me. Four-lane divided road. Okay. So, let's do this for now. I need to move this roundabout thing. Sorry, Granny, I know your thoughts on roundabouts, but so far in this city, I keep having to delete them. Thank you, Misty, I appreciate that. You may need to have a website and sell overseas. Okay, so I have a website. In fact, since we're already on the subject, the problem is the overseas bit. Okay, so that's the website. It's there. Technically, if you're from Australia, you can see it in like your currency. The problem is, my products are physical products that occupy space and have mass. Apparently that's what science class tells us is matter. And so with these things called matter, unlike software and streams and stuff, they actually have a weight and volume to it. So what I've been struggling with when it comes to anything overseas, right, is shipping of these things, and they're so expensive. It is like, so to Australia, trying to ship a coaster, which is the smallest thing I sell, okay, other than a keychain, but like, let's say a coaster is the smallest reasonable deskwear that I sell, it costs me $38 shipping. And I can't bring myself to be like, I know that there will be people who are okay to pay that, but it just doesn't sit right with me that someone has to pay $38 on top of whatever the product itself costs to get my stuff, you know? Hi Humberto, welcome back. Oh my gosh, you missed an entire like story time about my life right now. But it's okay. The good thing about YouTube is that VODs exist permanently. So anyone who wants to listen back on my my concerns when it comes to my life, you can just watch this stream back. Oh my gosh, do you use any mods? Not for this city. I usually do. So we did have a series previously where I was like, it was mod central. I was modding everything. But this game, relatively speaking, is still very new and still very buggy and still very incomplete. And so mods are tricky to use right now in this game. So I haven't been able to build that city properly in a while, and my computer broke. So yeah, for now we're working on this vanilla city, and I actually been enjoying the process of building vanilla. It's gone so much further in terms of potential than I thought a vanilla city would have allowed. So yeah. You have to price in shipping costs and people will pay. We all buy from the internet and cop the So, okay. Like, for those of you who have bought stuff from, like, overseas and stuff, right? Does $30-ish sound normal? Or is it just a... Because I didn't know whether it was a case of, oh, because I'm trying to ship from Singapore, the options I have are more expensive. Because if you're from the States, or you're from Australia trying to ship out, I find that you get better rates than I do. Like, I was worried that it's a case of, it's just the place that I exist in the world that doesn't give me competitive rates. Because to ship to the US, it's like 40, 50. I'm just like, who's gonna pay for that? I don't know. It's just, I probably should give people the chance to even choose to buy it, but I've hesitated because of that. You have to understand that people who buy online already pay shipping costs and know what it's all about. That's true. So it's like, rather than... It's literally what I just said, right? Which is that I shouldn't stop other people from deciding that that's okay for them. Like, right now I'm making that decision on their behalf, which they may not even feel like it's a problem. That's true. That's true. This is the stress nuggets all over again. It's the whole like... Just chat with other people and they'll give you answers. Yeah, you know, once I say that out loud, it's again one of those things that deep down I know, but I've never allowed myself to accept. And now that I say it, I'm like, actually, yeah, why am I not allowing myself to accept it? Like, there's no actual reason for it. Yeah, I think, okay, you know what? This is the thing for me about when I didn't have that, like, how do I put it? When I wasn't in that space of having people who was appreciating creative stuff, right? I feel like a lot of it was that that situation where it's you decide something is not worth because you personally don't feel it's worth. Which doesn't necessarily work because it's like different people have different perceptions of value and what they are comfortable paying or like choosing to support and stuff, right? And then like, why are you stopping someone from making a decision just because it's not something you would do in life, you know? The other way to go is to have, an example, Australian distributor so you can ship the product in bulk. Oh yeah, so that's almost like a stockist situation. So if I created enough volume or I found some sort of boutique that was so supportive to the extent that they will allow like limited quantity things to be shipped over, right? That is definitely something that can be done. Have I gone ahead to look for these people? Unfortunately, I have not. Because I just didn't have the capacity. Again, this is a one-person thing, right? So if I'm not creating something, I'm trying to like attend markets. If I'm not doing that, I'm trying to do my freelance work. If I'm not doing my freelance work, I'm streaming. If I'm not streaming, I'm trying to rest. So it's like there's a limited capacity of what I explore at a time. And I'm so like, yeah. No, but you're right, actually. Like, these sort of creative partners, not just in terms of the distribution opportunities, but it's also that they connect you with the right audience. So rather than just like throwing yourself out into the world and just hoping it will stick with somewhere, right? At least the pool is more curated. For example, if they own a little shop, people who walk into their shop and who are their customers are already people who appreciate it. You don't have to go around convincing them, like, here's why you should pay for a handcrafted product. So yeah, Granny, you're right, actually. Like, thank you for reminding me of that, in fact. Because I kind of... There was one stockist that I had my products in. And I got to know them because I was attending a market. They were my neighbor. Like, they were next to me. And they were just the loveliest person. She had a shop right next door at the market. And so she's like, yeah, we'll have your products. Just like, give us a few. We'll put it there. We'll support you, right? And stuff. Unfortunately, she moved to Switzerland. And like, it was a partnered thing. So she was working with a partner in running that shop. But once she pulled out of that business, they, like, the people who took over didn't want my things anymore. So they were like, sorry, we're not going to continue. Please come and collect the stuff. I actually never collected it in the end because it's quite inconvenient for me to get to, honestly, for my house. So I just told them, like, you can have it. Like, use it for the giveaway or something. And I just never went back to the shop. First time admitting it on, like, a recorded video, everyone. Feel free to get in touch with that shop and see and show them, like, oh, this is actually why he didn't come down. Oh my gosh. You're literally begging him to let me pay. See, context is different when it comes to a Ryman Aura. Because it's like... You are owed payment from all of the time I've consumed your... It's like Netflix, you know? Like, in order to watch a media, you have to pay a monthly subscription. So I owe you, let's say... Let me get a calculator out. So let's say a month of your content was worth about $800 a month. And that was 12 months in a year, right? But we'll just add a 13th month for good luck. And then that was 9.5 years. So I owe you a total of $98,800. And so therefore, there cannot be payment accepted, is what I will say. And each time you stream, that is another $800 that is added to that, like, the depth. I'm almost at 100,000, what fun. We'll get there by the 10-year mark. Oh my gosh, that's actually coming very soon. It's like June already. And like Minecraft story mode is also hitting its 10-year mark soon. And we need to organize that. We'll do a playthrough. Like at some point. Okay, I think by tram. Let's try... For now. I'm gonna do this. Okay, and... Ooh, I don't know if that will... Okay, let's just do a temporary stop like this. Okay, so... We have the main stop here. Oh, I have to keep going with this one. Let's say that... A tram stop is here. Here. And then... Oh... Did I destroy Misty's house? Misty, I destroyed your house! Misty, please move. Please choose a different building to move into. I need to actually destroy this area again. Which, by the way, like, if anyone wants to move in, please let me know if you want to move into Live Daughters, if you want to move into anywhere else in the neighborhood. You can. Just let me know and I'll put your name on one of the buildings. Okay, there we go. So we've got a tram stop here, let's say. Sorry to everyone who lives here. We appreciate your tax. Okay, so that's the tram track. And then if I do a tram depot, oh, let's do it here. Okay, then do this. Hopefully you connect. Okay, do you both have plans for your anniversary? We have discussed an idea, but I actually think we need to consider how we're going to implement it. Because I've been thinking about it, and I don't know how we're going to do it. The idea is that we're going to be watching stuff, but the thing is, I don't know who's going to be controlling the stuff that is shown, and then how both of us are going to hear it at the same time. Trip to Australia. If I could have afforded it, I would have. You destroyed Misty's house and then you offered to move the rest of it. Oh no, I offered Misty too. Everyone, like Misty and everyone. Oh dear. Where did you get the name Live Daughters? Okay, so... which I feel suits your username of Silly Goober. So this is Punderland, right? So the idea is every area is supposed to be named after puns. We've not been doing great so far. But Live Daughters was this name because I was thinking like, oh, this could be a campus for a company or something. So why not it be the regional headquarters of like a vacuum company? And what vacuum company is famous in the world? It's Dyson. So what's the opposite of Dyson? Dyson, Live Daughters. Live Daughters Business Park. That's how the name came about. Oh dear. Yeah, so that's the story. Oh, sorry, Sam. We're still on old computer, so I don't have the software. I just messaged the like computer people, so hopefully it will come in soon. I don't know. Oh no. Okay, hold up. Someone's offering to buy my coffee table. I'll have to get back to that. I was trying to sell like a coffee table at my office because it's taking up so much space. It'll be an after stream situation. Okay, just be thankful you don't live in my city because you'll spend your life riding a bus around your terrible bus routes. No, it's a sightseeing tour. Where's our town? Okay, it's a sightseeing tour. It makes sense. It's fine. Okay, so we have the tram settled. I'm gonna do a test line. This way, and we'll just have it go all the way here so that I can see it in operation. Everyone, this is gonna be our first tram network operating in Punderland. Okay, where is it? Let's observe it. I hope it works. And actually, before we do that, let's save one more time. Okay, so despite rambles and distractions for today, we are actually doing stuff in the city, which I'm relieved by. I was concerned it was going to be a case of like, oh no, ramble or build, but not both. Okay, everyone, so this is the tram. This is the tram. It's going to do a really... Oh, what are you doing, tram? No. Okay, wait, that's a problem. Don't do that, tram. Let's try again. Okay, hopefully this works. It's a bit of a sharp corner, but I will... Yeah, it works. Okay, that's fine. Right, so this is just the temporary stop to make it operate. Let's see. It's gonna take some time. Do you think City Skylines 2 is worth it yet? I think it depends on your preference of gameplay and expectations of content. So for like when you play City Skylines 1, do you depend a lot on mods? And do you like when new content is being released? I know for City Skylines 1 it doesn't matter, but do you rely heavily on all of the DLC and stuff? Because the general sentiment I feel, if you're gonna ask online, is a lot of people are disappointed in City Skylines 2. But I personally really enjoyed it, and I understand that things are not being delivered at the level that they promised. But I feel like it's complete enough of a game, and the foundations are strong enough that I enjoy playing it. Use Traffic Manager Presidential District. Okay, so it's not too heavy mods-wise. They do exist in that sense in City Skylines 2. But as I don't know how early into City Skylines 1 you got into it, but it's like the first few years with that game where mods and stuff are definitely a work in progress. So they work, but they break. But I've been playing mod-free the entire time. And I do feel like there is enough things to do at the moment where I haven't gotten bored with it. And I've been playing since day one. Like, my previous city was 13 months in, and then we did a modded series for a few, episodes, right? And then the game broke, so I couldn't use it. And then this is 7 episodes in. And I'm still not bored. Like, there's so much to do. Oh, one thing as well to consider is, if your computer is strong enough. I am surprised how well this game has run on this computer though. Like, I'm using an old laptop. It's a gaming laptop, but still, I upgraded my computer thinking that it couldn't run City Skylines 2 because of how badly City Skylines 1 runs. But we're 33,000 people in, and I wouldn't say this is bad performance considering I'm streaming. So Granny definitely thinks it worth it. It's been so lovely watching you and Azzy and like Misty and well, we say Rai, but she never shows it, so we won't know that she's streaming it. But yeah, it's been so lovely to see so many people get into this game. So it's like Saturdays become such a good day because I get to watch Granny just like doing City Skylines the whole time. Okay, I wasn't paying attention to the tram as well. Did anyone use it? I don't think they did. Whoops. You played on your friend's account once and you thought the game looked ugly, like all the houses were too big and there were no trees. Oh, okay. I wonder if it's a graphics thing. Because, okay, definitely trees, you can add it. Like, so it's a tool that you place down more trees and stuff. And I feel once you do that, like, this mixed use area looked very plain and bare until these trees came in. And then it made the whole thing look, like, nice. So yeah. When do you get your computer back? Well, I don't know. So I just messaged them because it has hit 4 weeks. Their estimate was 2 to 4 weeks. So I'm hoping this week, if we're lucky. But I'm not sure. Oh, someone's waiting for the tram. Hi. Hello, Alia? Alia? Alaya. Thank you for taking our tram. We spent a lot of effort trying to build it. Do we have people here trying to take the tram as well? No one here. Why, people? Okay, it's because it's 11 PM at night, that's why. Yeah, but I feel that City Skylines 2 has very good foundations. Like, I do feel the tools that they've brought in, what you can do, despite the game being incomplete, is really a step up from City Skylines 1. Like, as long as your computer can run it as well, I do like the graphics of it. I know some of it's a bit, like, choppy and buggy in terms of, like, you see the shadows and stuff. But if you look at the vehicle, like, it's super detailed. Let's go into here. Like, you see how the things reflect and the rims are actually textured and stuff. Like, City Skylines 1 doesn't have that. And, like, all of the lights and things, the indicator lights, there's a level of detail that I appreciate that, I can't remember if it's Paradox or Colossal Order that, like, is the developer, but one of them, they've put into the foundations of this game. Like, if you actually sit and observe a traffic light, let's find a busy one. I don't think there will be a busy one because it's nighttime, but if you actually sit and observe pedestrians crossing the road, right? When it's changing to like a red man, meaning don't walk, they actually rush across the road to make it in time. I don't know if this person's gonna make it. Okay, they made it, unfortunately. hopefully someone's going to rush over like across the road. But there's all sorts of these little details that I feel is very pleasant to enjoy. And then there are these random things like there'll be car accidents where the cars will suddenly spin out and then you get to watch things. There's a sense of dynamism that it's a nice improvement over City Skylines 1. I don't like feel that is an issue with City Skylines 1 because to be fair, it's a 10-year-old game. But I do feel for a sequel that they did very good things with the foundations of the game. And once they bring in the new content, I think this will be a good sequel. The roads being able to have angles when they intersect is nice. Yes, okay, so that's the thing, right? So for those of you who have just played City Skylines 2, and if you observe how I play, I kind of still do that, right? Which is that when I do it, I always do like this, and then I kind of connect it to a node, and then I continue like this. In City Skylines 1, this was the only way you could build roads. You couldn't do like an overlap to continue a road, but in City Skylines 2, you can actually do this and like just place down a road immediately. If this was City Skylines 1, I would have had to do this, connect to the road here, then connect to this, then connect to this. So the road tools are definitely an improvement. I like as well, okay, so specifically because you're coming from City Skylines 1, right? I like that the new road tool allows you to snap to specific lanes. So when it comes to highways, it's very intuitive to, say, do a 2-lane like this, or actually a 1-lane like this, and then continue a 2nd lane like this. In City Skylines 1, that was very annoying. So, and then if you use snapping, or like switch off snapping, you can do even more precise things. So if I did this, there we go. I mean, you have to like be finicky with it, but like in theory, you could smooth out that join, you know. And then same thing with highways. You can actually connect by lane. So I can just break it up to be like this. So much easier than City Skylines 1. Roads are a lot cheaper in City Skylines. Oh, I've actually never noticed that. Is that true? You can build roads to plan out the city first. I've never noticed that as a thing, but I mean, if you brought that up, I'm sure that's a valid point. Yeah, I tend to build with like unlimited money, so... and with City Skylines 2, we're playing on easy mode, so... yeah. Because for me, I enjoy the design process so much more than the, oh, I have to earn money thing. But surprisingly, with easy mode, we've been doing good. Good night, Sam. Thank you for dropping by. We appreciate you. We look forward to your next stream. And at some point, I actually need to play the games that you keep suggesting to me. When I get my new computer. Sorry, not my new computer. When I get my computer back. Jeez. Where is my tram? Is it still running? Oh, it's here. Okay. I don't... Let's leave this running until rush hour because I can't tell whether people are actually using it. You have to start with dirt roads in City Skylines 1. Oh, okay, well, you can do that in this game, but I found I've never had to do that, and I actually don't enjoy doing that. Because for me, when I play a game, like, I just want to build the city that I envision, not having to be like, oh, build the dirt road first, and then, oh, I have to upgrade this and upgrade that. So, we did do the whole, like, upgrading thing for this city because it's vanilla, right? So, this area was what we started with, and as you can see with all of these zones, I do intend on redeveloping it because they're not the most well utilized, I feel. But something like Live Daughters is like completely new neighborhood with the new plans and stuff. So Granny has to go to sleep. No worries, Granny. Thank you for streaming City Skylines 2 today so that you got me to play it too. We will see you. I think you're streaming tomorrow considering it's Sunday, and I'm assuming you are now a participant in Dinkum Sundays. But yeah. Okay, we'll leave that running for now. Let's go back to our park. Is anyone walking around it? I think no. What a shame! I want people to, like, use this thing. Because that will kind of complete the illusion of... I think I know how to get people to use it. Okay, wait. So, if we Because they have to use it for now. Since there's no other way to cross, right? So we go here. We go here. We connect it up to this thingy that we made earlier, that bridge thing. And so, if they do that... Okay, I'm just gonna break this. I know we said it's just for them to be able to use it. But now... No, 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 don't turn back. Go this way. Okay, let's see if the other people do it. Come on. I gave you an option. Okay, I think this person's committing. Derek Jennings, commit. Okay, they might be the first person to use our nature walk. And walk they will. No rush, anyone. No one's just like trying to sleep and staying up because they're watching this person walk. Definitely not. Okay, let's actually speed this up. Derek's taking too long, unfortunately. And it's actually quite a long road, so I don't blame him. He's going to work, apparently, at the multi-level parking building. Oh, is he a parking attendant? Lovely. Thank you for making us some tax income from parking. Okay, okay, okay. Derek, off you go. Into the nature walk. Okay, here we go. The path's a bit bumpy, but we will accept that. Please turn. No, no, they're going the other way. Oh no, wait, because it's connected there as well. Okay, wait, Derek's not it. That's not Derek. Sorry. We spent all that time watching them move for nothing. Please go up this thing. Someone go up this thing. I have to like destroy. I can't destroy it because there's a electricity thing that's needed here. Okay, who's gonna be the first one? Patty Prentice? Okay, some interesting graphical things happening there. Patty, go this way! Why don't people want to go this way? Maybe there's people coming down from the path. No? I wonder. Okay, you know what? I am just gonna destroy this road. Sorry, no electricity. You have no choice but to take this path now. What happens now? Will anyone take it? I think now no one's just... There's just no one taking the path. Someone use my hard work. See, this feels like what I was saying earlier. It's like, oh, all that effort, nothing to show for it yet. Use it, someone! I wonder it's because maybe piers are just not... Oh. Are you Patty? Patty's going home. Patty, turn. Use the... Use the road! Okay, that's connected. I hope that works now. Bye, Patty. Nice knowing you. There is no one else coming in this direction. Should I just assume that it's a failure? And that this is just gonna be a decorative feature that no one uses? Anyone coming in this direction? Sorry, this is just gonna be the remainder of today's stream. Just watching people desperately hoping that they'll use my bridge. Wow, people are up early in this city. It's 4:54 AM. And everyone's just going to school at 5 AM, moving away. Edna? Jackie's going to school. Oh my gosh, don't laugh like that. That's scary. Jacqueline is going to school. Why are you going to school at 5 AM? You're shopping at 5 AM. Okay. Oh yes, I should say, I added some schools, like around everywhere, just as a temporary measure because we weren't having enough schools. Because as you can see, we have so many people trying to use the elementary schools and we didn't have... Like, we only had, I think, 6,000 capacity previously. So, a lot of these schools are temporary. Patty's still on her way out. Thanks, Patty. We appreciate you. Can someone please use my poor bridge? I think, in conclusion, the people in Punderland do not value self-care. Like, they'd rather walk on highways and bridges and just focus on work and school instead of giving themselves a good life. Right, Patty? Patty's still going. Patty was going shopping, actually. Commitment. I don't know how I can, like, get people to use it. Maybe, if I... Let's give people another option to go this way. I just want to see one person use my bridge today. Please, anyone? Everyone's going there. Oh dear. Oh, by the way, for folks who play in the land of Crafton, which is a different game developer, there's currently a Crafton publisher sale going on. So if you're looking to get Dinkum or Inzoi or stuff like that at a sale price, consider that. Same thing, Silly Goober, if you're gonna get City Skylines 2, try and get it when it's a sale. I don't know if there's gonna be one soon. Let's see, City Skylines 2. Yeah, because the original price, like compared to City Skylines 1 especially, it's quite a bit more expensive. So wait for a sale. Is what I'll say. Like, City Skylines 1 felt so worth the money because it was affordable as well. And then City Skylines 2 became like a normal price for a game. Well, normal until Nintendo came around being like, let's charge $120 for Mario Kart World because that's how much it costs in Singapore. Yeah. So yeah, try and get it at the best price, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I give up on the bridge. We'll figure it out another time. But let's see the tram. Is the tram working? Where's our tram? Our tram's here at the main station. Okay. Let's see. Good luck, tram. Let's hope you actually carry passengers. Might get some City Skylines 1 DLC too, because I just love this game. You should actually, and I think, hopefully, it's more affordable now. I quite enjoyed Mass Transit and, what was the first one? What came with After Dark other than the, day-night cycle? I'm looking through. Let me look through all of the DLC and I'll see which ones I remember. Sunset Harbor, I heard a lot of things about. Plazas and promenades, if you like building pedestrian-friendly things, was quite good. Oh, Green Cities brings in a lot of eco-friendly buildings. Mass Transit for me, because I like building, like public transport. Snowfall brings in, is it cable cars or like a ski lift or something? I can't remember. Okay, but people, I say people, one person is taking our tram. Well done. Have we built yet another white elephant in this city? Oh, actually, I should check on that. Let's check on our white elephant. How are we doing, Subway Line 1? Are we... Oh! Oh, okay, no, I think they changed the... Like, how quickly the thing turns to a darker color. Because 23 people is not a lot for rush hour. Oh, our poor subway is not... Oh, but the orange line has quite a bit of people. Okay, interesting. Live Daughters. Yellow has like some people as well. Parks and Promenades, Mass Transit, After Dark, and a few others interest you. Yeah, those sound generally quite good. You've got greens. Oh, sorry, yes, because you meant eco, right? Sorry, I forgot that's the actual name of it. You have to encourage people to use the public transport, otherwise they drive. See, so that's the thing, is that I don't actually have people driving. Like, most people who are driving come out from outside the city, but within my city, I might have done a thing of just having things too close to their house, because no one's going across town. So, like, my buses are used. my subway, at least with the current size of the city, is not being well used. I think it's a case of, right now, there are too few stations for it to justify its use. Once I build further out, like, there will be a need for it. So, but for now, I think everyone's just walking to where they need to go. But that's the thing, it's that I don't see people, like, during rush hour. Like, this to me is not a crowd. Far too walkable, tragic this. I know, it's terrible. Like, it's bleeding. My subway network bleeds money because of it. But yeah, my bus network is carrying, like, see, it's mainly the buses. So I think right now, east to west, like, transport is not necessary, given that the buses are carrying most of the work. But eventually, when we reach areas where the buses don't go to, they will have to use the subway. Case in point, I feel like once we expand to the second city, the subway will start being used, definitely. Because no buses are going to go there from here, or at least I won't make it go there. I was curious if the university has people using the buses, and it turns out that they do use the bus, which is nice. Well done. And this comes after completely deleting our bus network and starting up from scratch last stream. Last scream, that works too. On our last stream, we screamed. Right, but I feel like until I properly link up the tram with this new business park, we'll have the same problem of there are too few stops to justify the use of this, like this line. Because the only places you can go is 1, 2, 3, which we were trying to, like, relieve, but as of right now, it seems like no one wants to use it. The regional train does have decent usage now, though, ever since we added live daughters to the line. See, 35 people, I'm willing to accept that as a, at least someone's using it sort of situation. Okay, let's check on the bridge. Did anyone use it in the end? I think no. Maybe because piers are not meant to be, like, double-sided, and so maybe the game's thinking of it as, like, you can't actually connect from one side to the other. I don't know. We'll have to experiment a bit more. Oh my gosh, the crime thing. Did my college solve itself, by the way? No, it didn't. Why? This is definitely an update glitch. Like, this was never a problem before the update. Also, is that a taxi? Sedan. What's on top of it? Oh. I thought it was the car was on top of it. You know, the other thing is that I've not seen any of these accidents happen recently. In fact, it's what, June? May. There were like 5 accidents in May, and I did not see a single one happen. Maybe it's on the highway. Because in my other city, whenever it happens, I will see it straight away. So that's no fun. I want to witness all of that happen. Oh dear. Okay, but I think my brain's quite fried from just building this and fixing the trams and then rambling and like yapping on about random things. So I don't think we're gonna build anything else today. Next stream, I think let's continue with a bit more of the park. Let's try and get it working. And then we can work a bit on the business park. How about that? I'm thinking this should actually become like a media center. Because right now we don't have that in the city. So a place where, I don't know, TV channels run, radio stations run, movies play, like, not movies play, movies get filmed, like Melvin the Musical, and stuff like that. I think that's an idea. Thank you, Rai. Heaps of attention to detail. like, like, non-functioning bridges and stuff. Oh my gosh, so Silly Goober says walkable, right? But Rai City is the true walkable. I mean, you've had a citizen walk out of, like, from the highway of your city. So, I can't compete with that, unfortunately. I've not had that happen. Okay, but I think we're gonna leave it here for today, everyone. Thank you so much for, like, dropping by, being here. If you've discovered this stream today, thank you so much for, like, sticking around. Hope you will be here the next time. We'll try and stream on Tuesday, because my plan for not streaming Dinkum today was that I wanted to stream on Tuesday. So we're back in Dinkum playing that. Hopefully our computer will come back sooner rather than later. And then we can actually start playing other games again. Because at this rate, it's just gonna be City Skylines, Sims, and Dinkum. Okay. Like What the musical? No, not What. Melvin the musical. Thank you, Azzy. Appreciate it. Hope you've been playing City Skylines as well. I can't remember if you actually ended up playing. Misty built a whole park area with a queue and housing. A queue? What queue? Oh my gosh. Thank you, Treasy, as well. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, so hope to see you around. Preferably on, I don't know, Granny stream tomorrow, or on Rai stream if she's streaming. But until then, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you soon.